it very well. We've really done some one-on-one battling and try to work on just how we're going to battle this team in a small rink such as Asheville here. So far, it's gone really well, and hopefully tonight we can come up there and neutralize their forecheck effectively.
We had a chance earlier to talk with the head coach of the Mallards, Paul McLean, and get his keys for tonight's game.
Well, we have to do a better job of handling their pressure, which is their forecheck pressure. We have to manage the puck better. We need a little bit more composure on the puck and a little bit of misdirection. But the best way to handle that is to make them play in their own end of the rink better. We need a little bit more containment of the puck in their offensive, their defensive zone, our offensive zone, and make sure that we put more pressure on their end so they're not playing in our end. It's the best way to combat that.
Well, you hear the thoughts of head coach Paul McLean before today's game. Ryan, he's a big reason why this Mallards team hasn't lost 2 in a row going back all the way to January.
Well, that's true. You know, his attitude towards us is treat us like champions and we should respond like champions. Hopefully that figure will be put to the test tonight in our game, and so far everything has gone well for us.
It has gotten to the Colonial Cup Finals, a pivotal game in the Colonial Cup Championship Series with Game 4 here from Asheville, North Carolina. Coming up, our opening face-off after this commercial break. Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by Iowa Wireless, by Genesis Health System, by John Deere, by Rhythm City Casino, and by Tri-City Electric. And welcome back to the Asheville Civic Center, a revved-up Asheville Civic Center as we are set to go for Game 4. There is the Asheville starter, Brent Bilecki, having a terrific playoffs in net. A .234 goals against average as he makes the start for the Smoke again tonight. He has started every playoff game for Asheville so far. For the Mallards, it'll be Joe Dimmeline in goal. Dimmeline with a .221 goals against average in the playoffs. He has won 4 of his 5 starts in the postseason. You see also a .913 save percentage in the Colonial Cup Finals, a .919 mark in the playoffs overall. There's our referee tonight, George Harrison. He'll be working with linesmen Doug Wood and Jason Rollins as we are set to go in Game 4. A lot of Mallards fans have made this trip as they get set for what could be a pivotal game in this best-of-7 series. The Mallards tonight will start Frederick Jobin and Dan Bjornley on defense. The starting center, Martin Halinka, who yesterday signed a contract with the Washington Capitals. He'll start on left wing. Hugo Prue, Mark McFarland back on the ice for Game 4 is on right wing. For Asheville, Bob Raposa and Ryan Akey are the 2 defensemen, with Tyler Prasovsky, Bruce Watson, and Blue Benefield, the 3 forwards. Here we go, Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Finals. Mallards lead this best-of-7 series 2-1. Great to have you with us on AT&T broadband cable, and we are underway. Asheville controls the draw and look to dump it in and send it onto the bench on the far side.
Well, that puck actually flew right into the penalty box, and wasn't for Martin Villeneuve, just missed his head there. Hopefully it's not a sign of things to come tonight. The guys seem to be pretty revved up. Talking to a lot of the guys before the game, they seem to be refocused and ready for the task at hand tonight. It's going to be a tough game out here tonight. It sounds like Asheville has a good crowd, and here we go.
Face-off controlled by Dan Bjornley, and he dumped it in from the left point, tied up along the near boards, and chipped back out to center. Bjornley controlling it back for Quad City. They look to try to feed a lake at center ice, and it's broken up by Benefield. Mallards control it, though, dump it back in from center ice as Alenka got to it. Now Asheville looks to bring it out the other way. Pass to center ice, partially picked off by Jobin, but it's taken back in. Benefield tries to one-handed towards the net, and it's taken back near side by Bjornley. Now the Mallards break out. Here comes Colonial over the line on a 3-on-2. Beats Prue. Back to Marty. A shot, save, rebound, and Bilecki goes down to cover.
Well, what a terrific rush there had by Martin Halinka and Hugo Prue. Dan Bjornley ended up just clearing the puck around his own end and then turned right into a 3-on-2 for Quad City as Martin Halinka and Hugo Prue came in, and Martin Halinka ended up getting a couple good scoring chances there. Bilecki again big in his own goal.
Looked, Ryan, that they did a nice job getting it out of that, off that of their own zone that time. And you're going to look at the Asheville head coach, Pat Bingham, his first season with Asheville, third year as a head coach overall. Face-off coming with Jason Ulmer now taking the draw for Quad City. Ulmer, Serov, and Gibson. That line now on the ice for the first time tonight. Draw in behind the net. And on the far side, Asheville looks to work it out. Mallards, though, holding in. Ulmer takes the hit on the far side, but able to send it back to the corner, looking for Serov, but it comes back out front instead. A backhander from right in front wide. And Gibson sends it back in behind the net. Colborne trying to send it out. Mallards holding it again. And now Asheville looks to break out the other way, but an errant pass at center ice will be picked up by Goulage, who will chip it the other way. Asheville getting it back. Asheville smoke in home white, Mallards in road maroon. Perot trying to move it forward, but the dump in block. And now Gibson looks to carry it in, finds Ulmer. Ulmer throws it in front. He had Serov there, and the pass just went a little wide. Now breaking up the other way is Vinstead. Vinstead trying to get around Toporowski. Topper had him tied up, and the puck is tied up on the far side of the net by Demelon. Great defensive play there by Topper, Ryan, and you see Vinstead coming in, and Toporowski, even though he may have given up a step, prevented a shot.
Well, yeah, he is. Paul Johnson and Kerry Toporowski have been terrific partners all year together when they have played together on certain nights. And that's just another play. It was just basic 2-on-2 rush coming down the ice for Asheville. They made a little crisscross, but Paul Johnson and Kerry Toporowski played that perfectly and turned them aside, and really there was no danger on goal.
Face-off coming up. The far circle left to Demelon. Harold Hirsch taking the face-off out with power and Armbrust now. Mallards trying to clear the zone. Pass at center ice, dumped ahead, but not onside. Mallards will look to get it back from behind their own net. Paul Johnson and Kerry Toporowski, the two defensive pair. Asheville dumps it back in, and the Mallards look to send it out. Up ice, they try to feed Hirsch, and it's picked off and dumped back in by the Smoke. Here come the Mallards the other way. Johnson gets it out of the zone. Hirsch will tip it in, and it's run down in the near corner by the Mallards, and now cleared up ice by Asheville. This is going length of the ice the other way. Could be an icing call as the Orly back for the touch-up, draws it against Asheville.
Well, right there, right there for Quad City, they're a little pushing and shoving behind the goal with Kerry Toporowski. And it looks like Bruce Watson came in there and gave him a little shot after the whistle. But basically, that's the forecheck that we just saw from Asheville that was very effective for them in Game 3 here. The first game we played down here, basically they're going to send all three guys, and if they can steal the puck, that's what they want to do. If not, we get a 3-on-2 every time. So basically, it's all hit or miss for Asheville. But with the pressure they have in such a small rink, they definitely have a good chance of turning pucks over.
Look at the Mallards bench. Quad City set to take a face-off. We're scoreless. We played almost 2.5 minutes into Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Finals. Here comes the face-off, and on the draw, it comes back to Jobin, right point. Fires a shot, and through traffic, it's knocked down, moves to the crease. First trying to get a shot away, denied, and it's kept out of the zone by the Smoke. Asheville dumps it back in, and Demelon will send it along the far board. Loose puck at center. Hirsch going after it, but Akia gets there first. Pass hit. A Mallard sick on its way out. And a backhander in front. That goes wide. And it's trapped in behind the net and trapped back there. Whistle will stop play with 17:05 to go in the first period, and we are scoreless. You get a look at Martin Holinka. You guys had to be thrilled for him yesterday, Ryan Lindsay, hearing the news that he is now NHL property.
Oh, it's amazing to hear. You know, it's first. I guess it's the first former Quad City Mallards player or current Quad City Mallards player to sign an NHL contract coming from Quad City, and you know, it's just great. He's such a good guy, and it's super to have him back on the team right now for the finals. As we successfully can use his talents out there, but you know what? He's worked very hard over the last 2 years to get to where he is, and hey, hopefully we'll see him shooting up there with Peter Bonder someday.
The Capitals inked him to a deal yesterday. Mallard had it at center ice, but it's tipped back in by the Smoke. Kelly Perot back to get it. Sends it up the far side, and the Smoke will try to run it down. Tom Wilson races two in the corner, hit by Gibson. Now they try to get the puck freed up in the corner. They bang at one another. Gibson in the play gets trapped in the corner, but a whistle will stop play.
Well, I think we're going to have matching minors here with Gibson, and I believe Wilson hit on the play. They're both sort of pushing and shoving. I think Wilson may have gotten a couple extra shots in there, but Gibby's a big guy, and he's not afraid to dish it back, and he got caught with, I think, a slashing penalty.
Ryan, to call the series chippy would be one of the great understatements ever, wouldn't it?
I believe so. I believe that last game, a lot of chippiness was not called. I believe that the referee decided to let both teams play on, and it's his prerogative. It's how he interprets the game and how he calls the game. Unfortunately for us, we didn't get the type of penalties called against Asheville as we had in the first two games, and quite frankly, I think I may have given them a little bit more of an advantage.
Matching minors, 2 minutes on the board against both Gibson and Tom Wilson for Asheville, and it's 4-on-4 now. You see Ulmer to the face-off, and on the draw, controlled by the Smoke. Alex Dumas, the defenseman, will look to bring it out the other way. Dumas sends it near boards, knocked down by Jason Ulmer. That's Serov in front. Ulmer trying to feed Serov in the slot. It comes out left side instead for a goulash shot. And now Ulmer in behind the net looks to center. There's Serov again, left corner, trying to get away from Brett Colborn. Serov battling along the board. Ulmer came out of there with it out front. There's a drop by Perot. Send it back by the lucky stick. And the puck winds up into the seat to the far side with 16:04 to go here in the first period. Scoreless early on here in the first period. Get a look at Gary Goulash. 10 assists this postseason. That's almost one per game for the veteran defenseman.
Well, he's having tremendous playoff, as many players out there right now for the Mallards are. He's really been a great leader for us so far, all season long, and especially in the playoffs. 10 assists, you're right. It's almost won a game, and it's very important. If we can get defensemen like him getting points every night, it's going to make the forward's job that much easier.
Off the draw, shot in front. And a great shot by Power off the draw that Hirsch won right to him.
Harold Hirsch is the trade when we acquired him from Mohawk Valley Prowlers. Has demonstrated a tremendous ability of winning faceoffs right on players' sticks in the offensive zone with a chance to shoot right on goal. As Chad Power lined up right in the slot area, Harold Hirsch winning another faceoff right to him, and all he had to do was shoot the puck at the goal. One of those times it's going to go in.
Power's a sniper too, isn't it? It was a great shot.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch, but Harold Hirsch just seems to be able to find those players off the draws consistently. And he's done it every game he's had since we acquired him. So it's a tremendous advantage to have him in the offensive zone. And especially with a 4-on-4 situation such as this, there's less bodies in front of Chad Power if he does get the chance to shoot the puck here.
Hirsch and Ruitt on the draw. Comes back out again in the slot to Power, and the shot this time goes high and wide. Asheville looking to clear. Mallards hold it in. Jobin right point. Fires, and a save made again by Bilecki. We're tied, no score early on. 15:50 to go first period. This is Iowa Wireless, Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
We're back. You get a look at head coach Paul McLean for the Mallards. Ryan, you were looking to reassert some dominance in the offensive zone and doing that early on in this game.
Well, that's exactly it. As the shots right now are 8-1, as we're just under 5 minutes into the contest here. Sorry, just over 4 minutes into the contest. That's the type of pressure we've talked about all week. We wanted to get it established very early in this game, and hopefully have Asheville start taking penalties against us because of that offensive pressure. Otherwise, it's going to be sort of the same battle as we had last game.
On the draw, Jobin taps it to Bjornley, left point, sinks it in front, shot against Howard, battling loose, puck in front, and the stick get up his body fly in front of the net. Another good look, and we got a penalty coming up. The cross check has been called against Asheville.
I believe it's Ryan Akia going to the penalty box for Asheville. It's Harold Hirsch and Chad Power driving the net with a vengeance there again. You know, that's exactly what we just talked about, Ed, is that's the pressure you need to start drawing penalties, and sure enough, Asheville gets caught doing another undisciplined act with I believe, a cross-check.
Yeah, you're going to get a look at it here. Ryan, he almost had to do it because he had a great scoring chance here.
Well, if you look, it's actually after the play. Hershey gives him a little bump, but AK comes in quite well after the whistle there. You know, that's the undisciplined play that they're trying to use that as a form of intimidation in their small rings like this. And quite frankly, as long as we don't retaliate, if we can get power plays like this, it works into our favor, much like it did in games 1 and 2.
The Mallards have a power play, first one for either team tonight. On the draw, it comes to the corner, cleared up but not out of the zone. First to the puck, now brings it out front to Dan Bjornley. Joban, right point, fires a shot deflected off the goaltender's glove. Bjornley again will hold it in left side. Dan Bjornley with a slot, left side, Hirsch with a shot. That goes over the deflected wide, back to the corner, and Hirsch again. There's Bjornley with a one-timer. It was tipped and winds up into the crowd on the far side. Well, they're getting some great looks.
Yeah, we are. That's exactly what we have to try to do. Again, another big key from last night's from Game 3 was that Asheville scored 2 power play goals. We only scored 1. They won 4-3. Again, that could have been the difference in the game. We talked about it all week. We have to start scoring some power play goals. We're well below right now our season average. And I think we're only firing around 14% or so right now. So it's one of those things that in a championship series, if you can get power play goals early and often, it's gonna make that job that much easier.
You get a look at the smoke power play in the Mallards penalty kill. Quad City on the man advantage right now. They were third in the league in the power play, 20.7% playoff still. You're right, about 14. Perot out front to Goulash, back to Kelly Perot, trying to send it in front, deflected, hit the blocker, it's loose, and he's able to cover.
Well, if you look at that play, Ed, actually, although we had the 4-on-3 set up and we had all 4 players somewhat around the goal, there was no one actually in front of the goaltender by Leckie. In this situation, you definitely have to get some pressure in front of him. If he sees a shot from the point, he's going to stop it the whole way. That's why we have to get some bodies in front, and we can't be standing off to the side of the net. Otherwise, it basically gives them a free lane to the net.
Hey, you don't see him.
There's no one really in front of him. And basically, he has a pretty easy time covering up the rebound.
On the draw, Mallards again controlled it. Here's Perot, back to Goulash. Goulash to Perot again. They've got a man in front now. Goose shot, save made, loose puck in front. Cleared up and down out of the zone. Goulash holds it in. Now it's going to be a 5-on-4 power play. Gibson out of the box for Quad City, and the play whistled dead as it was frozen under Bilecki.
Well, boy, that's as close as you can get without scoring a goal there, I think. The puck was in between Bilecki's legs, and he didn't even know where it was. Unfortunately for us, no one can get our stick on the puck here.
You're going to get another look at it there. There's Perot's shot. That hit the post as it ricocheted back, and no idea where it was. Wow, you're right.
And Crimmin doing a good job of tying up the puck there. Again, if he uses his hand and covers it up in the crease, it's an automatic penalty shot for us. However, he used his knees, and I believe the whistle blew, and that's a perfect legal play.
On the draw, still time for the Mallards on this power play. Goulash to drive, save Bilecki, and he hangs on again.
Well, Ed, regardless of whether or not we score in the next 48 seconds here on the power play, this has been one terrific power play for us, and at the very least, it will be a moral win for us getting this much pressure. It hasn't happened very often so far in this championship series, and right now we are starting to get quite a few shots on goal on the power play, and that's the key.
They wear down that man in the mask, Fritz Bilecki. He's the difference in the game right now. The smoke finally cleared the zone, and here's the reaction by the crowd, as for the first time in this man advantage, they're able to get it to the other end. Here's Goulash. Theroff racing after it inside. Big hit, freed it up for Ulmer. And now Goulash had to go out of his reach, but still gets the shot away. Tipped in front. It's loose. Gets him with a shot. It's knocked out. Ulmer with a rebound. That goes just wide. May have deflected off the post. Goulash sends it in front again. And it's tipped back to the far side. And Andrea cannot clear. Time winding down to the power play. 5 seconds left on it. Perot with a one-timer. Has saved Bilecki. He's now stopped on the seat near side, and the power play is over.
Although they killed off that penalty, I don't know how they did it. That was one tremendous 2 minutes for Quad City Mallards there. That's a type of power play that can spell over momentum for the rest of the period here.
What does it do for the opposite side, though? You've just stopped a pretty ferocious rally from the other side that gets the crowd revved up.
Well, it does have the crowd revved up. On the same token, when you give up so many chances like that, you're sort of on the back of your heels as we jump out to an 18-1 shot advantage. You know, that can't be very comforting for them, as they know we're just a knock on the door right now.
Holy mackerel. 18 shots. 13:30 to go here in the first period. 18-1 in shots. Unreal. Here's Hirsch the other way. Hirsch had Armbrust down in front, flips it instead to his left. Powers drive, bounced off Bilecki's pad. And Asheville looks to get something going the other way, but it hopped away from Ginstead. And Toporowski will dump it back in. It's loose now, left circle. Mallory went after it, got tripped up. And now Ginstead the other way. He's into his right, gets it back, fires a shot, saves Timmerline, and it's tipped in behind the goal. Ricochets out for Kremen. His shot, loose puck in front, tipped back to the near side. Toporowski will look to get out of danger and does. And now the Mallards head the other way. Hirsch sends it in behind the goal. He gets hit. The fight power out front. A drive Bjornley, and Bilecki covers again. And again pushing and shoving a little bit behind the goal at the Asheville end.
Oh, this is just ferocious action going on here, Ed. Dan Bjornley jumping into the rush is always, it's a key here that we want to have an extra defenseman jumping into the rush, and right there he was on joining the three-man offensive rush. He jumps in and makes it the fourth man in the rush. Gets a great shot on Bilecki and saves another one.
Ryan, it's 7 points this playoffs for Bjornley. He's having a terrific postseason.
Oh, yeah, he is. You know, I've talked to him quite a few times over the year, and if he had joined us in September or early October at the start of the season, he very well could be considered in the running for the Rookie of the Year as well with Jason Ullman.
Face-off comes all the way back to the other end. Timmerline will look to move it in behind his net to Bjornley. And Bjornley the other way. Harassed by Watson, but finds Jovan. Here's Zelenka, right point. Looks to flip it in front. That's hit into the boards hard, but now Bjornley fires a shot. 6-save made by Bilecki. In behind the net, Mallard still control. Pass out front, stolen away by Benefield. And here comes the smoke the other way. Shot Krasovsky smothered by Bjornley. Never had a chance to make it on net. Mallards look to break out the other way. Asheville takes it back at their own blue line and dumps it in. And Timmerline swings it off to the far side. Ruud had a chance to hold it in, could not. Mallards on the attack the other direction. Here's Steve Gibson. Lost it off his stick, and it's dumped back in by the smoke. Bjornley again. Off to the far side for Serov. Shipped to the center ice, but again the smoke looks to clear it in. But here comes Dolmer with a steal. Sends it in behind the net. Taken away there, though, by Rob Marshall, and the smoke get it cleared once again. Gibson up the far side to Serov. Vlad Serov trying to center for Ulmer, but it's out of his reach. As Dumont set off a little bit of an angle there, and the Mallards go back behind their own net for it, and that's an icing call against the smoke with 11:25 to go this first period. Scoreless game at the Asheville Civic Center. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. We are back. Ryan, you look at your mates down there. A very hard-working first half of this first period, Lindsay.
Oh, you're right. It's not even halfway through, and I believe the shot advantage is 21-3 so far in favor of us. Hopefully that'll continue. If we can continue getting scoring opportunities against Bilecki like that, I don't care who's in net. You're going to give up quite a few, I think.
On the draw. Mallard send it back to the near corner. Here's Armbrust. Sends it in behind. First there, finds Power. Shot got blocked, but he gets it back. Circling around, Power sent one hit the side of the net. Freeman trying to clear. Sends it off to the far side. Johnson holds it in. Now Akia looks to send it out the other way. Really coughed it up in front of his own net. The smoke finally working to center ice. Buck sent back along the near side. The late penalty call coming. And it's going to go against Quad City.
I believe Paul Johnson will be going to the penalty box. I didn't exactly see the call. It may have been roughing or a high stick or something of that nature.
Now, Fuel Fire Desire, the 2001-2002 Mallards season tickets are on sale now. Meet the price increase by purchasing Mallards season tickets for next season. Call the Mallards office at 309-764-7825 for the 2001-2002 season tickets today. See Paul Johnson out. Right, a roughing call, Ryan, and the smoke is in for his power play of the night. And it's a power play to top right now, Ryan.
Yes, it is, and currently our penalty killing isn't quite up to par either, but, hopefully I think in a game of this magnitude, the guys will be ready to go, given everything they have out there.
Asheville dumps it back in. Kelly Perreault near side, looking to clear it out. Chips it up and down out of the zone. Colborn able to hold it in. Ruiz trying to play it off the board. They chop away at it. And it comes out front for Sofsky. Can only deflect it back to the corner, and Gulai sends it out. Right, does not send it out. It bounced back in, and it jumped in around the net. Here's Perreault near side. Got it by Colborn as they clear. Asheville on the power play in the playoffs, 23.6%. Sofsky's drive turned aside by Dimmeline, and the Mallards bring it out the other way. Here comes Armbrust on the charge. Armbrust in over the blue line. Tried to get a shot away, knocked down. Paparowski was sent into the net, and Ryan Akio wanted to talk to him about that.
And I believe Terry Paparowski will be taking at least a 2-minute penalty here for interference, goaltender interference.
And the Mallards are about to go 2 men down.
That could just have been a case of him going hard to the net, but we'll actually get a chance to look at it right here. Popper driving that hard. That looks pretty deliberate to me, actually. But you know what? Sometimes that has to happen.
Just something for Brent Malecki to think about maybe for the next few minutes.
Yes, it is.
Quad City will be short-handed here, though, for a minute 9. 2 men down for a minute 9, and the Mallards have another Asheville power play to fight off.
Really the only unfortunate part about that, Ed, is that you're right, it does put us down an extra man for at least a minute 9 in the event that there are no goals scored. But sometimes, when a goal is hot like that, 20 saves already in the period is halfway over. Sometimes you have to send that message.
The smoke power play was the best in the UHL in the regular season. Continue that run to the playoffs. Here's Colborn. Colborn all the way to the wing. In left of the net. Bremen had a shot and a good chance in front. Halenka will take it away and clear. Ryan, what's the key down 2 men to stopping, basically having 2 men open all the time in the opposing power play?
Well, basically you want to give them as far away of a shot as you can. You don't want them to make little passes in the crease where they can just have a little tap in at an empty net goal.
Get it in behind the net. They set up. Akio out of Colborn left side. Back to Akio right point. Here's Colborn again. Makes the shot, and it's poked away by Chauvin. Gets it back. And it's drive into tip by Prasovsky just wide. And Hugo Prue will clear. Colborn brings it back in. Going in one-on-one. Makes the shot. Around Gulai shoots. Great save by Dimmeline.
What an absolutely larceny save that was by Joe Dimmeline. Colborn, one of the most dangerous defensemen there is in the league, walked right in here on Dimmeline. He actually walks around Gulash. He goes down to actually block the shot. What a save that was. The 3-on-0 at the net, and he still come up with a save. Colborn holding on, and Dimmeline just absolutely robbing him. The key here now, Ed, is I believe 4 seconds left on the 2-man advantage. Centerman Martin Halenka has to win this faceoff. If he can win this faceoff, back to Gary Gulak, get out of the goal, we're definitely will be down only 1 man.
Low control though. Out front, making a drive way high. Couldn't send it back out front. Now Johnson is out of the box. It's a 5-on-4 power play now. Near side, Colborn had it hop away from him, and Halenka will clear it down the near side. Mallards will change. 30 seconds to go on the Asheville power play. Loose puck. Mallards trying to dump it back in. Serov will chip it back into the offensive zone again. Serov had a short-handed goal on Monday night. Asheville the other way. They hit Ruud at center. Ruud will dump it back in. Circles around to the near side. And Jobin looks to clear it. Held in near side. Colborn, a nice spin move. Fires a shot. Another save. Demoline and a great stop. What a shot that was from Colborn to that point.
Oh, he's just so tricky out there with the puck. He can spin on a dime out there. As much as Gladys Rob can spin around. Watch this play. What a shot that was as well. Colburn's a tremendous player. He's one of those defensemen that we're definitely have to watch out there. Much like a Jeremy Reback in Missouri, who we always had to pay close attention to, or a Frederick Richard in Fort Wayne. He's in that caliber of defenseman. He's definitely someone that we've tried to identify as making sure we get a body on him all the time.
A terrific stop, though, by Demoline. And a good shot by Brett Colborn. Face-off coming up. This is Watson and Hirsch. And it goes all the way back to center ice, and now both teams are at even strength. Marshall back in behind the net. Comes back for Quad City and Kelly Perreault. A pass up ice, intercepted by Alex Dumas. Mallards get it back. Here comes Perreault in over the line. Drops the pass, and a shot goes high from Power. And it's tied up in behind the net. Asheville will take it away. Up the near side. A burst of speed by Benefield. Trying to center, broken up by Harold Hirsch. Hirsch on the fly. This is a 3-on-2 for Quad City, but a pass to Power broken up. Wasowski gets it back. Lost control as the Mallards poked it away. And it's sent back to center ice. Here comes Quad City again. Power with a drive. Set at the post. Rebound. And a great save by Mallards. The light did not go on. Mallards thought they had a goal. And you see Armbrust almost looking on in disbelief.
What an amazing save. I don't know how he had his glove on that. Chad Kyle with an absolute laser of a shot. Beats by Lecky, but hits the post. Armbrust with the rebound. Somehow by Lecky got his glove on that.
Another look. Unbelievable.
What an acrobatic save that was.
7:04 to go. First period. We're scoreless because of that guy.
That's exactly it. Brent Bilecki playing amazing out here for them right now. That's something that we're going to have to identify very soon.
On the face-off. They kick it back. Jobin sends it back in behind the net, but it circles around to the far side. Mallards try to hold it in. It's tipped back to center ice, and here comes Genstead. Genstead in the far wing, tied up. Still got a shot away that went to a goal mouth, and the play stops as the net comes off. We are still scoreless. 6:47 to go, first period. This is Iowa Wireless, Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. Fuel, Fire, Desire. Mallards 2001 playoff souvenirs are available. Visit the Mallards Nest in downtown Moline for Mallards playoff souvenirs and Colonial Cup Finals merchandise. Face off in the near circle. That's controlled by the Smoke. Here's Akia all the way into the corner. Centered it at Genstead, but the Mallards take it away. On the fly, Prue. Send it wide of the goal. Bilecki sends it back along the near side. Bounce right back towards the net. Sit back in behind, and again Akia sends it up but not out. Mallards keep holding it in, but now the Smoke will carry the other way. Raposa sends it to the far side, and Demoline chips it back, and here comes Salenka. They'll blast one in on net from outside the blue line, and both teams are changing. Mallards back in their own end. Goulash backpedaling. He sends it to the far side. Mallards sends it up, and it's intercepted on the far side by Andreev, and it's tipped back to center ice. Near side, here's Ruud. Ruud fires a shot, save Demoline, and he keeps it scoreless with 5:53 to go, first period.
Well, one similarity I've noticed out here so far is between our arena and their arena is that the glass seems to give sort of the same bounces. unpredictable. That's sort of the same, I guess, between us and between our rink back home and the rink here. A few times already tonight, both in trying to clear the puck and dump it in, the puck's been taking some weird bounces off the moldings, I guess, that hold the glass in place, and it can go anywhere.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by John Deere, proud sponsors of the Quad City Mallards, and our special thanks to them for making these broadcasts possible. Back to the Quad City. That's John Deere. There's Serov. His shot wide, and it bounces in behind the net. Mallards get control back, and Serov on the far side. Can't maintain control. Radinko trying to send it in, finds Ruud. He's checked off the puck by Goulash, and Asheville gets it back. They will dump it back in, though, and Perot will get his troops regrouped. Pass up ice. Gibson at center, lost his footing, but now Homer picks up the loose puck. Dropped it back. It's sent back, left of the net, and cleared back near side. Watson will send it up the near board, and Asheville's on the fly the other way. Benefield with a big drive, that's well wide. And the Mallards look to send it out of the zone again. Goulash will pick up the loose puck. Goulash to Bjornley. Tries to backhand it toward the net. Mallards send it back toward the slot, but again it's intercepted by the smoke. Asheville the other way. Here's side Benefield. Dropped it back for Watson. Checked off the play as he dumped it in behind the Mallards net. Wilson tries to hold it in and chips it back to Benefield near side. Halenka breaks up a pass intended for Mitro. Mitro, though, ties it back up. Mallards pick it back up. Halenka the other way. At his own blue line, Marty dumps it in right on net. And Asheville will head the other direction. They chip it back to center ice. And back to get it, Toporowski. Up the far boards. Mallards head the other way. Here comes Hirsch. Fakes the shot at the blue line. Stops right point, sends it along the near side. And Asheville takes it back. There's Derek Crimmin. Clearing pass knocked down. Again sent up the far side. This time out of the zone. And it's slipped back in by the smoke. Mallards send it back along the near boards. Without a stick, Hirsch tried to kick it ahead, but instead Raposa dumped it back in behind the net. Shot the middle line out of the crease. It's saved by Toporowski. Oh, Topper saved the day on that try. Demoline got caught out, but right there Toporowski made a stick save. Topper to Omer. Omer in over the line. Fires a shot that goes wide. Serov trying to get to the loose puck. Sends it back to the far corner. It's intercepts the pass. Fires a shot that's deflected up over the glass to our right.
That's a hard thing sometimes, Ed, in this rink, because the goaltender wants to get out and play that puck to help his defenseman out. But it's so small that if he does clear on the board, they can shoot it right back in the net before you're in front.
Should the Terry Cup Championship go to 6 or 7 games will be played at the Mark of the Quad Cities Monday, May 7th and Wednesday, May 9th at 7 o'clock. Tickets are on sale now at the Mark and at all Ticketmaster locations. Call 319-326-1111 for games 6 and 7 if necessary at the Mark of the Quad Cities. Homer on the face-off against Bruce Watson. Sent it to the slot, but it's taken away by the smoke. And they cannot clear. Chipped back in. Homer sends it over to the corner, but the smoke will just send it out of the zone again. Homer knocks that down. Serov trying to spin away from a defender. Goes down, but still plays the puck. This time tied up. And it's cleared away by the smoke from in front of their own net. Length of the ice the other way. Goulash back. Draws an icing call. Well, again, great pressure in the offensive zone, Ryan. They're having a hard time clearing it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to do, though. Even though we haven't been able to penetrate Galecki and put one by him, as long as we continue to get that sort of momentum, he's probably going to crack. I think probably with most optimism I can, because he has the ability to win a game all by himself. But hopefully tonight, if we continue getting the shots that we're getting, he won't stand up very long.
This barrage, though, is just unreal. He's going to see almost 30 shots for this period. Maybe he sees 30 shots this period. Asheville with control, looking to move the other direction. McFarland trying to work it ahead. Tied up though and sent ahead. Here's Halenka right side. Halenka cannot get free, but able to get it. It couldn't get a shot away. Now for the near boards. It's sent Back to the far side. Holinka in the corner. He is tied up and ridden down. The Mallards pick up the loose puck. And it's tipped back out of the zone the other way. They've got to break the other direction. Jinstead fans on the shot. Jobano tied him up. We've got a whistle and a penalty call coming.
That play all started at our offensive blue line.
They're going to get another look.
As the replay doesn't quite catch it, but it basically was a turnover on our own blue line, which caused a breakaway or a semi-breakaway for Asheville. And Freddie Jobin had to do the right thing and nullify a scoring opportunity by hooking him just slightly enough, but enough in the eyes of George Harrison to call a penalty.
So it gives Asheville a power play, their third of the night. There are bad penalties to take, and there are good penalties to take, Ryan. That had to have been a good one because that prevented a great scoring chance.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you talk before, coaches, sometimes drive nuts and others are good.
Here's Colborn. Fires a shot that never made it through, deflected off a roll, and the Mallards look to clear it out. First got spun around and he's trying to dump it forward. Asheville getting back on side. As a pass deflected away, they hold it in near side. Here's Colborn. Colborn along the wing. Has ridden off the play by Hersham in a great defensive play. And Asheville again regrouping. Two players bump into one another on Asheville side. Rodinko had a man in front and a pass wide of Jinstead. Akia sends it in front again. Tapped out of there by Timaline. And the Mallards cannot clear. Jinstead again. Pass attempted to be centered, but knocked away. And it goes free to the far side to Ruiz. He'll dump it back to the corner for Rodinko. Jinstead in behind the net. Check there by Drew. Pile up there. Ruiz comes out of the pack with it. Out front. There's a drive. Akia goes wide. Delay penalty call, or a penalty coming up. Thought it might be a delay call. We'll wait and see who gets the infraction.
I believe it's the Asheville team going to be. These will be evening it up here. It looks like Rodinko will be going to the box for cross-checking. And like we just said a second ago, that's not the type of penalty that a coach on either side would ever like.
Well, that'll nullify the power play, which is huge. 1:15 to go in this period. Again, we're scoreless. You get another look.
I believe it happens right there in front of the net. As Bogdan Rodinko got his stick up a little higher and on Kelly Crow and sort of gave him a little chin music. Kelly, I guess, sort of started there, but right here when he gets him with the cross check, sort of across the head. You know, George Harrison's looking for that type of play. He'll let us play hockey as long as it's within the rules, but when sticks get up and if it's a little chippy, he's going to try and not allow that tonight.
4-on-4 now for 45 seconds. As we're nearing the 1 minute mark of this opening period. Serra on left side around the defender, trying to drive towards the net. It's loose in the crease. They stop at it and rolls wide. It's flung in front again, but again this time Wilson controls and looks to clear it. Up ice near side. Freeman sends it in front. Timaline turns it away. Look for Serov on the fly the other way. Gets it to Ulmer. Ulmer left side moving in. Fires a shot. Hit a post. Rebound Serov. That bangs on something and is covered up again by Brent Polecki. How many posts is that tonight, Ryan?
You know, Ed, I off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, but this is not the type of game that you like to see.
Oh.
The way we started this game is you see what a great shot by Jason Ulmer and falls the net by Vlad Serov, but by Alexi again. You know, you like to see all that offensive pressure, but you'd like to see something go in. Otherwise, you get that feeling that it might turn into one of those games where we get 60, 70 shots on goal and only muster 1 or 2 goals in there. So let's hope that this brief power play that we'll have at the end of this first period can't get us 1 goal. And if not, if we can come out and score early on the power play in the second period.
Face-off rolls in on net, but they're able to turn it aside, and the Mallards will look to regroup. Goes just off the side of the net. That's another icing call, and with 30 seconds to go in the period, Mallards get another face-off in their offensive zone.
Well, I guess we'll have 17 seconds on the power play at the end of the period.
You see the disparity in shots We said they might hit 30 at the end of the period, and pretty close. Just an amazing first period for Brent Bilecki when you see that graphic.
Yeah, it is. That's the type of pressure that we want to come out here and generate. So far, it's going to game plan, although I figured if we got 26 shots in the first period, there might be 1 or 2 goals to go along with it.
Here's Kelly Perreault with a shot. And again, another save. Bilecki swept to the far side. Mallards hold it in. It's loose in the slot again, but banged out to the right point. Perreault holds it in. That shot rolled through. Now along the left point, comes back near side for Perreault. Back along the left side, hopped away from a Mallard. 5 seconds to go in the period. They jump it in just wide of the net. Perreault will pick it up, and that'll do it for the first period. Joe Dimmeline made some strong saves in net. But the story in the first period, a dominating offensive game for the Mallards, but they have not found the net in the first 20 minutes. Out shooting the Smoke by nearly a 3-1 margin. Asheville hangs on and battles for a scoreless tie at the first intermission. At the break, it's the Mallards nothing, the Asheville Smoke nothing. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by John Deere. Our special thanks to John Deere for helping make these broadcasts back to the Quad City possible. John Deere, a longtime sponsor of the Quad City Mallards, and again, our thanks to them for their continued support of both the Mallards and of tonight's broadcast. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Asheville Civic Center. Ed Beats along with Ryan Lindsay, where we are scoreless at the first intermission here in Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Finals. Ryan, what a great first period effort that was for Quad City, but Brent Bilecki, what a first 20 minutes for him.
Well, he's an outstanding goaltender, and he proved in that first period there how outstanding he can play. It's good that we got the offensive pressure that we did in the first period like that, but we got to start scoring some goals, otherwise it could turn into one of those games where we get 60, 70 shots and no result.
We're going to be joined in the intermission by Mallards defenseman Gary Goulash, who will join us here at this break. We'll talk with the Mallards defenseman about this first 20 minutes. Gary, how hard is it to avoid fighting frustration because you guys played the first 20 minutes but not on the scoreboard yet?
Well, I mean, you know, we have to keep the pressure on. I mean, we came out the way we wanted to come out. I mean, we had 27 shots in the first period. And, you know, we got to maintain our composure. And I tell you, one's going to go in, there's going to be a bunch more that go in. So, you know, we've run to a high goaltender, but, you got to keep shooting if you want to score.
Gary, you guys have to be very pleased, though, with the way that first 20 minutes went overall. Seemed to control it in the offensive zone, the bulk of that 20. Can you be pleased with the first 20, or just the fact that it's still scoreless is still maybe still something to talk, or maybe still something that, to be concerned about at this intermission?
Well, I don't think it's much to be concerned about. I mean, you know, like I said, this is what we wanted to do. And I think we have them back on their heels a little bit. And if we keep this up, you know, I don't think they can handle the pressure for 3 periods. And, you know, we're a high offensive team, but we got to make sure that, you know, we stay composed and try and stay out penalty box as much as we can because, you know, 5-on-5, we're, you know, one of the best teams in the league. And, you know, the boys come to play tonight, which is good to see. And I tell you, we're going to be a tough team to beat.
Gary, we talked all week about how we wanted to try and get our power play working out there and getting some more shots on goal. How do you feel that our first power play opportunity out there went for us?
Yeah, I think it went great. I mean, you know, our whole idea is want to get the puck to the net. You know, we just didn't want to get any shots blocked, and you know, we moved the puck around really well, and you know, we had some great opportunities, and you know, he made some great saves. But you know, we just keep going, don't get frustrated, and good things will happen. You know, if we keep going hard. So, you know, that's going to be maintain the speed of the game up for us. It's going to help us, and you know, we're just going to keep firing away.
Yeah, that's kind of what the thoughts were next, Gary. The fact that you guys just have to stay positive down there, don't you? Because if you repeat the second period, don't you think some good things are going to happen?
Well, you know, that's the thing. I mean, we just gotta. It's the game is 10% physical, 90% mental, and you know, we stay mentally sharp, mentally strong. Don't give them any opportunities. It's going to be a great game, and The way we're playing right now, I think this is the Mallards team of old here. The first couple months of the season, and to finish a tough series like this, we're going to need to play like that. For 5 more periods. So we're gonna keep going. I mean, the attitude is great. We got energy, we got speed, we got the puck moving. One of them's gonna go in, and we'll break the ice for us.
Thanks, Gu. We'll let you rejoin your teammates.
Thank you very much, Ed.
That's Mallards defenseman Gary Goulas joining us in our first intermission as the Quad City Mallards and Asheville Smoker tied at a scoreless game so far through the first period. We're back with more. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. We are back at the Asheville Civic Center. Ed Beats with Ryan Lindsay for you live in Asheville, North Carolina. And, we talked about it really throughout that first 20 minutes. Ryan still can't get over what a dominating performance that was by the Mallards in period number 1. But what's it feel like as a player when you come that close over and over again to lighting up that lamp and still not seeing that red light get turned on yet?
Well, I know from speaking from experience, you're right. It can get very frustrating out there. You want to have 2 or 3 goals with 26 shots on goal in a certain period. Unfortunately, we can't afford to let that frustration set in right now with the period. Much like Gary was saying, we have to get out there and put some goals in next period. But as long as we continue to copy that blueprint that we have for success in the first period, things should continue successfully for us in the second.
Ryan, do you think that's been a good characteristic of this team all year? Because you've gotten a lot of shots off. You lead, obviously, the UHL in shots on goal. But it seems you've been in games like this before. It's almost a repeat of maybe almost a dozen regular season games that I can think of.
Well, one to mind that comes to quickly off the top of my head would be the Rockford game in which we scored 63 goals, 63 shots on goal, but only a 2-1 win in a shootout as well. So hopefully we can not let that thought creep in the dressing room right now. Hopefully the guys remember the games that we did have a lot of shots, but also a lot of goals, and get out there and score in this next period.
Well, again, still looking to try to fight that frustration. We've got some highlights, I believe, we want to take a look at from that opening period and take a look at some of the close calls that the Mallards did have in that opening period.
Well, here's the Jason Ulmer shot, I believe, that hits the post, and Bilecki somehow manages to smother the rebound, as I believe Vlad Sarov was driving the net here.
Yeah, there were not just one good shot there, but 2. A pretty good effort on the rebound by Vladdy. And that that play kind of sums up the first 20 minutes, doesn't it? And you can't get much closer than that.
No, you're right, Ed. You mentioned to me earlier in the broadcast how many posts we'd hit tonight, and off the top of my head, I don't know how many, but that sort of looks like a carbon copy of what's gone on so far in the first period. And like you said, hopefully that'll change in the second period here, and hopefully we'll start finding this line there.
Oh, but that's playoff hockey, though, isn't it? You can run into a hot goaltender, and Brent Bilecki has carried them for the first 20 minutes so far. And from Asheville's credit, in a dozen shots on goal is a pretty decent effort from their standpoint. Joe Dimmeline, not to be forgotten, has made 2 or 3 great saves in this game.
Well, Asheville did have a 5-on-3 power play advantage for a full minute. Joe Dimmeline was huge. He came up very big for us in that situation. You're right, we can't forget about Joe. He's playing great up there for us right now. But I think most of our attention has to be focused on Bilecki and somehow finding a way to get that puck by him.
So we've got about as great an effort as you can have in what has been a scoreless game so far. Again, a chance to renew your season tickets. It's not too late to renew season tickets for next year and avoid a price adjustment for the 2001-2002 season ticket plans. The Mallards have a number of great season ticket options available, and you can order them by calling 309-764-7825. That's 309-764-7825 for some season tickets and enjoy maybe more history in the making as the Mallards made hockey history this year, and more great moments to come at the mark in 2001-2002. There's a couple of fans who braved the long journey down to North Carolina for this Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Finals. Mallards and Asheville Smoke scoreless at the first intermission at the Asheville Civic Center in North Carolina. This is Iowa Wireless Mallards Championship Hockey. We're back at the Asheville Civic Center, and should the Colonial Cup Championship Series go to Game 6 or 7, they'll be played at the Mark of the Quad Cities on Monday, May 7th, and Wednesday, May 9th at 7 o'clock. Tickets are on sale now at the Mark and all Ticketmaster locations. Call 319-326-1111 for Game 6 and Game 7, if necessary, at the Mark of the Quad Cities. Ed Beach back with Ryan Lindsay here in Asheville, North Carolina, and boy, it would be nice to be back at home one more time, maybe two more times in front of the home crowd, but I know this team is focused in on not just winning tonight and winning this pivotal fourth game, but trying to accomplish this Colonial Cup in 2.
Well, to tell you the truth, that I'd rather not have to go back to Quad City,
right.
Especially for Game 6 and the 7. We would like to try and wrap things up down here if we could. But Asheville's a heck of a good team out there, and Brent Bilecki's playing outstanding right now. Who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully we can continue to pull a check and dominate and get shots on goal like we did in that first period. But if we can't, then it would be a welcome sight to go back to Quad Cities and see our fans again.
It'd be nice to bring the Colonial Cup back home from here rather than maybe lifting it up sometime next week. But we've had some fun at the Mark this year, haven't we? I mean, it's been another great season for the home crowd. They got a chance to see hockey history on home ice and a great playoff run so far.
Well, yeah, just talking to other players around the league, it's one of the best places to play minor hockey. The fans there are very knowledgeable, and even as you see the fans that drove all the way out here to watch us play, it's a special treat to play in front of those people. And I know the guys are looking forward to, if it does have to go back to a Game 6 or 7, seeing our fans and having them cheering for us once again.
Well, right now, though, we're in a scoreless opening period of hockey, even though the Mallards have played an outstanding first 20 minutes. Asheville keeping them off the scoreboard, and so we're deadlocked at zeros. One aspect, though, of that first period is something that maybe we haven't seen the first 3 games. Asheville giving the Mallards just one power play chance in that first period, playing physical, but playing a lot more discipline than they had even in the first 3 games, even in Monday night's game when they won that one.
I think perhaps they may have learned something from those first 2 games and part of the third game, and that's that they can't afford to be as chippy and as dirty behind the play and give us power play after power play. We, although our numbers aren't the same as they were in the regular season, our power play seems to get those timely goals when we have to get them, and I think they may have learned from that, and right now they're playing a very good game.
Well, Ryan, I know that we appreciate you joining us here for these telecasts, the telecasts tonight, but I know that you certainly have had a great season. You had a great Game 3, too, with a couple of assists in that game. I know the Mallards came up 1 goal short, but seemed to click pretty well. And you have to look back at this season and think that you had a little bit of an injury that slowed you down a bit. You still feel like that you made some great progress from what was an outstanding rookie year for you?
Oh, for sure. I think personally I added a lot to my game this year. I think that with the way Coach McLean had me playing, I think I became more of a physical player. I think all in all that's going to make me a more well-rounded player. I mean, as far as the season, it would be a major disappointment to not come out of here with the championship. But that's hockey, you play every year to try and win that championship, and the best you can do is give yourself a chance in the final. And, we've done that right now, and hopefully we can bring the Quad City fans what they want, and that's a championship.
Well, I know that do you feel like this season has helped you in terms of your hockey future as you look down the road now, as you talk about becoming more of a complete player? You're kind of looking forward now to what the future might bring for you and what you can bring to a team as well, and not just, obviously, you're a proven scorer, but now you're a little bit more, aren't you?
Well, it's funny. You try not to think too far down the road, especially when you're in the championship final. And, quite honestly, Ed, in the last month and a half, the future has been the next game. So, honestly, I haven't had a chance to really even think about that as far as my future. But I know as soon as this thing's over, I can reflect upon what's gone on this season and how I've improved personally as a player and what this season has meant to us. So, right now, it is just a game-by-game thing, and I really haven't had a chance to think about the future. But I'm sure in a week from now, I'll get a chance to look back.
And we're talking, during our first intermission, we are scoreless for the first intermission thus far tonight in Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Final. Well, 2001 playoff souvenirs are now available from the Quad City Mallards. Visit the Mallards Net in downtown Moline for Mallards playoff souvenirs, including Colonial Cup Finals merchandise, which is on sale at the Mallards Net downtown. You see the Quad City Mallards retaking the ice. The second period of hockey from the Asheville Civic Center about to get underway, and we'll have the face-off for the second period when we come back after this. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. There we are. We are back at the Asheville Civic Center. You get a look at the breakdown of that opening 20 minutes, although the shots on goal are flip-flopped. The Mallards had the 27 and Asheville the dozen. But the Mallards and Asheville smoke scoreless. That does show that how that first period was so dominated by Quad City offensively.
Yeah, it does. It's a great sign as we worked hard all week. I believe that kind of shows that, we had a pretty focused week, and earlier on the intro to the telecast tonight, we talked about how Coach was saying treating his players like champions, and in return to respond and play like champions. This week was very intense, and it was one of those weeks where we totally got focused and came together as a team, and I think the first period has shown that, we were focused all week. I guess the proof is in the pudding right there.
See a lot of Mallards fans that have made this trip, and even some greetings being sent out across the way. What a great sight that is, Ryan.
It's amazing. It's like I just talked about a second ago in the intermission. These are the greatest fans in minor hockey, and just to see one or two people wearing Mallards shirts in Asheville is amazing. Let alone, probably it looks like 200 or 300 down here, if that's accurate.
Oh, there are a couple of Buffaloes that made the trip, plus all those fans that decided to drive on their own. And we're not exactly close to home.
No, exactly. That's what I meant. Just to see one or two in a location as far away as this, it would have been just nice in itself. But we got a pretty vocal crowd here competing with the Asheville crowd. This is one heck of a hockey game so far.
It is, and we are underway in period number 2. Or at least I thought we were. They're going to reach through the face-off.
I guess George Harris didn't like the way that one fell out of his hand.
Well, let's do it over. Jason Ulmer in center face-off circle for the Mallards, and Derek Freeman will take the face-off for the Smoke.
Sometimes this is nice to start the period, although it's only 44 seconds, we can start the period here on a man advantage with a clean sheet of ice. Hopefully we can generate a little bit of that offensive pressure that we finished off the first period with here.
George Harrison reiterating that he wanted to drop it again, really. The head coach of the Mallards, Paul McLean. Now we're ready to go again. And the second period underway. Mallards control the draw against Preston Road Maroon, going to your left now in the second period. Dumont sends it up the far side, all the way out of the zone, into the ice the other way. Mallards do have a power play here to start this second period. Only 20 seconds left on it on a penalty to Rodinko. There's a shot right on. It's loose in front again and cleared out of there by Genstead. Genstead the other way. Gets tied up along the near side by Perreault, and the Mallards take it back. 3 seconds to go, and Rodinko's penalty. Serov right side. Can't get loose, but hit. And the high front, Perreault. Kulash's shot, save again, Halecki, and both teams are now at even strength.
That shows how we like to have our defensemen jumping into the rush. Kelly Perreault quickly jumping into the rush. Vlad Serov finding him as we see Jason Ulmer starting, and Serov makes a little spin move, finds Kelly Perreault, who in turn finds his other defense partner, Gary Gulash, right up the ice. Whenever you can get two defensemen into the rush like that, it's going to translate into an offensive chance. As we see Halecki making the big save once again. But that's the type of team rush you like to see, as opposed to just having the 3 forwards come down the ice, having the extra 1 defenseman, and in that instance 2 defensemen jumping into the rush. This creates so much more havoc for the actual Smoke to defend.
Near side, it's tipped away by Akia, clear link to the ice the other way. Watson slings it back in the offensive zone, but the Mallards take it back. Quad City trying to send it out of their own end. And down the near side comes Quad City with it. This is Halenka. Halenka trying to spin away from Watson. finds a man open through right side. Shot knocked down. There's McFarland tapping away in the crease, but it's covered up.
Martin Holenka is showing that great size and speed, holding off a man and finding, I believe, Hugo Q off the side of the net. So that's NHL type strength here as he holds off Asheville Smoke defenseman. Finds, I believe that was Freddie Joven that he found off the side of the net. And once again, the defenseman jumping into the rush, almost generating another great scoring chance.
McFarland right there in the doorstep too.
So that's definitely what the Washington Capitals like in a Martin Holenka, is that he's not only big and strong, he's very smart with the puck and he can move it quickly.
Comes back out to center ice. Mallards trying to dump it back in. Colborn puts it high in the air. Littlefield almost corralled the bouncing puck, but the Mallards send it back the other way. Tied up at the Quad City blue line. The Mallards send it ahead, and Colborn will race back for it. Almost played 2 minutes here in Asheville, and the icing call will bring it back to the Asheville offensive zone. Still scoreless here early in the second period. Fuel Fire Desire 2001-2002 corporate sponsorship will be available for next season. I called in the Mallards at 309-764-7825. Be a part of the Mallards team next season for the Quad City Mallards corporate sponsorship. Here's a face-off in the near circle, and it's chipped up around the near point. Benefield tries to hold it in. Does. Mallards chip it back to center right. Colborn trying to send it forward. Sends it ahead, and the Mallards take it back. Paul Johnson dumps it off. Mallards head the other way. Harvest lost the handle. That's taken back by Ruiz. Here's Brasovsky. Send it along the far corner. Did he get to it? Turns it over. Right in front. Dumont had a shot. Sent away by Demeline. Moves puck left side. Drive. Save made again. Mallards steer it back along the right point. Dumont tries to hold it in. And it's tipped back by Power to center right. Here's Brzezinski with the loose puck. Weaving through traffic. Drops it off for Ruiz right side. Around the defender. Shoots. It bounces through the crease as it was saved by Demeline. Now left point. Sent on it again. Trickles back to Demeline, who makes another great save. And it looked like Demmer was going back in towards the net as the puck was able to hit him. He covered up.
Well, it looks like Demeline was actually trying to follow that puck from the defenseman's shot on the point, and I think it may have been deflected. We see Ruiz at first getting a great shot, but it comes back to the point, and I believe it gets tipped on the way there.
Yeah,
see, when a puck gets deflected like that, Demeline, or any goaltender for that matter, is so zoned in on that puck that he's expecting it to come into his body. And when it gets deflected and stopped like that, sometimes he looks kind of funny because he's going the absolute opposite way of where the puck is, but he managed to recover and throws that puck and we get a face-off here.
Boy, that replay showed a terrific recovery he made on that. That was a great thing. Gibson in front with a chance, and that goes wide. Gibson gets it back. Gibson has it taken away. Mallards break out the other direction. Gibson finds Serov in the slot. Shoots and it rolls just wide. Serov gets it back. Backhander knocked down. Dumas trying to clear. Sends it back near side. Dumas can't quite, or does hold it in. Olmer chips it ahead. Dumas gets it back. Sends it to center right. And the Mallards going to get it back. It's tipped back to the near boards. Olmer trying to regain control. And Quad City finds Serov the other way. He spins away from Dumas. Off on the right point to Perot. Sends it in front. Bounce through. Serov again. Shoots. He scores!
Wow, you knew that was going to happen sooner or later. At least you hoped it was going to happen sooner or later. Just tremendous offensive pressure again by the boys in maroon. Just an unbelievable play, and Vladdy Serov tucking that puck top corner. The goal is actually reminiscent of last night's Chris Conger goal that sealed the deal for the St. Louis Blues with Ed Belfour down and out. But here it comes. The puck comes over to Vladdy, and he just has to put it in the empty net. A little bit of a trick shot, but he still managed to get it up there. What a big goal for the Quad City Mallards.
Theron 11 for the playoffs, assisted by Ulmer and Perot. Well, we talked in the first intermission, Ryan, about persistence. That was a persistent back goal. They didn't give up on that play after a couple of near misses.
Tremendous effort. Well rewarded, too.
Asheville sends it to the near wing, but Prue trying to send it ahead. Finds Halenka. Quad City taking the lead. Akia in his own end. He'll blast it in from center. Mallards look to clear, held in though by the smoke, but tipped ahead. Halenka controlling it. Prue nearly had a break going in. Halenka with a backhanded drive and another save made by Gillespie.
Well,
Mallards take the lead. Teroff's goal puts Quad City out in front 1-0 here in the second period. This is Iowa Wild and Quad City Mallards championship hockey. We are back. That is Teroff, who puts the Mallards out in front with his 11th goal of the playoffs. And the Mallards are out in front.
Well, he's maintaining that goal game pace that he actually had overboard game pace in the regular season. But yeah, you're right. He's maintaining that 4-game pace in the playoffs. That's huge for us.
Mallards from behind their own net. Let's declare it from behind their offensive net. Send it to the far side. And now Mitro the other way. And Kremen with him. It slings it towards the net. Dimmeline there covers up. And Kremen winds on top. Dimmeline. They'll separate everybody in behind the Mallards goal.
Well, again, at last game's contest, in the second period here in Asheville, we only had 6 shots on goal, and that was one of the things that we were definitely concerned about all week long when we talked about what were possible reasons for the reason we were unsuccessful in winning that game. And 6 shots on goal is just not acceptable in the second period, especially when we see to score most of our goals during the second period. So tonight was one of those things we wanted to make sure come out and get at least a goal and at least quite a few more shots on goal than 6 that we had in the previous game in this building.
Asheville able to hold it in the offensive zone, near corner. They try to center. Mallards take that away, but it's held in left point by Wilson. His drive is blocked and sent to the far corner. They battle for the loose puck in behind the goal. Big hit there. And it's frozen underneath a Mallard and Toporowski. And Kremen gets separated. Hirsch trying to get up out of the maze of 6 from down to the ice. The face-off coming up again to get another look at it. Scrambled in behind the net. Oh, it was Kremen's stick that took him out from under him. That's what sent Hirsch toppling to the ice. And Kerry Toporowski is going to go off.
I find that hard to believe that there was only one penalty called on that play. It looked like the Asheville Smoke player tripped Harold Hirsch on top of the puck. But Kerry Toporowski ends up getting the roughing penalty. So, again, we're going to have to kill a penalty here 5 minutes into the second period. Hope Joe Dimmeline can come up big in here once again.
Oh, the Smoke at a power play. This will be their 4th one of the game. On the face-off. It's controlled in behind the net by the Mallards. Gulai sends it up but not out. Akia holds it in. They battle for control in the corner. Players again toppling after it as a wraparound attempt goes through the slot. Mallards the other way. Quad City 2-on-2 short-handed in a drive by Prue just wide. And here come the Smoke again. They've got a 3-on-2 this time. Rodejko trying to make a move. Gulai poked it away. Rodejko sends it in. Ruiz stopped off the puck. And it's in behind the Quad City net. Big hit there and behind the goal. Penalty coming. And a whistle will stop play.
I believe
on the ice.
I believe Gary Goulash got hit from behind by Bogdan Rudenko, and I believe that George Harrison has decided to call a boarding penalty here and even up the penalty situation, as it'll be a 4-on-4 for a minute 20.
Second time that's happened to Asheville in this game tonight. They had a previous power play nullified when they took a penalty.
Yeah, and as we talked about, those are the type of penalties that drive coaches nuts.
So with 14:11 to go in the second period, there we go 4-on-4 now for a minute 20. You get a look at the first-year head coach of the Smotac Bingham, who has his team in the first finals since this franchise moved to Asheville, and their second championship series in the team's existence. They won a championship in Brantford back in the infancy of the league, though, in Brantford, Ontario, in the second year in this league.
So 30-minute drive for me down the road, Ed, from my hometown.
So you missed them then?
Not at all.
Okay. Asheville at their own blue line, coughs it up. Here's Sarov in front, trying to beat Omer. It's broken up by Colborne. 4-on-4 as Colborne backpedals behind his own net. Sarov and Omer, the two forwards. Kremen had it, couldn't keep it at center ice. Sarov gets it, ahead to Omer. Omer looks to get regrouped. Trying to feed Bjornley near side, but ridden down. And the other way comes Genstead. Drops the pass. That's picked off. Bjornley to Omer. Jason Omer, the rookie out of North Dakota. Finds Sarov cutting through. Shoots, and it's knocked down. Here's Bjornley left of the net. Trying to beat it back for Sarov. Pass out of his reach. Dumas able to tap it to a teammate in Colborne. They back in behind the boards. Gets hit by Sarov. Mallards get it back. Here's Omer again. Jason Omer trying to beat someone in the right point, but a whistle will stop play with 13:05 to go in the second period.
I believe the net was knocked ajar there.
Comes off the stop play, but a lot of speed in the ice in that unit 4-on-4.
Oh, it's an amazing thing to watch. Jason Omer and Vladdy Sarago there when there's one less player for either side of there. And then you put a couple defensemen like Freddie Jovan and Dan Bjornley, and all of a sudden you got a 4-on-2 rush going down the ice, and it's really unstoppable.
This will be a pairing of Chad Power and Harold Hirsch now, with Perreault and Goulash, the two defensemen, and the Mallards will have a power play in 14 seconds. Face-off coming. And it's kicked ahead, but not out of the zone. Here's Hirsch, left corner. Pass out front, stolen away by Andrea, but tipped away. Asheville gets it back. Ruin near side. Swings it in front. That went through the slot. And the Mallards clear back the other way. Off the boards, picking up the puck. Power fires the shot wide. And it's held into the right side by the Mallards. Ruin trying to clear, can't. Mallards able to hold it in. Andrea, though, steals a pass from Perreault and clears. The Mallards power play now with just 15 seconds left on it. Start the other direction. Goulash. Had it dumped in by Perreault, and now on the far side, it's cleared ahead by the Smoke. Now both teams are back at even strength. Watson will dump it back in. Left back near side. Went back in front of the net, but Perreault had it, cleared it onto the crowd, into the crowd on the far side. Mallards out in front, 1-0. 11:56 to go, second period. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. Tonight's game brought to you in part by John Deere. Our thanks to John Deere for helping make these broadcasts back to the Quad Cities possible, and for their continued support of Quad City Mallards Hockey. Again, thanks, John Deere. Face-off in the Mallard zone here. You're going to look at Martin Malenka as he gets set to take a face-off against Bruce Watson. On the draw. Comes all the way to the near boards, and the Mallards will control. Drew dumped it in, but it's flung back to center ice. Joban had it, lost it, and now it's tied up on the far side and chipped up and out of play. 1-0 Mallards lead. Paul McLean in his first season with the Mallards, but his 7th as a head coach overall. Folks have enjoyed his first season.
Well, he's been accepted with open arms for sure in the Quad City area, and you know the guys in our team, you know, we love him. He definitely he gets the best out of our team, and he gets the best out of each player on our team. So it's great to have him here.
Chad Power made an interesting comment about him to us the other day. We'll talk about that in a moment. Mallards bring it in. There's a shot from the left point. Ricocheting back to the near side. Bjornli trying to center. McFarland battling for position in front. Sent it just wide. Prue sends it back in front. Holinka tries save. Rebound. Bjornli just wide. Right side. Mallards fight to keep it in the zone, but it's tipped away. Here's a breakaway for Asheville. There's a shot. That at the side of the net. It looked like from Watson, and now tied up on the far board. In behind the goal, Mallards look to get it freed up and head the other way with it. Goes back, they'll send it off the boards near side. Linka battling a couple of defenders. Sends it to the corner where it's picked up by Prue. Centers again, Armbrust shot. Flipped over the net. Krasovsky gets it back. Sends it up the far board. Asheville looking to send it in. Prue it tied up. Mallards send it back in front of the Asheville bench, and a whistle will stop play there with 10:46 to go in the second period. This coming up will be that
tremendous effort there. McFarland getting absolutely abused on the front of the net. I thought that could have been a penalty, but this shot here by Martin Holinka, beautiful.
Well, that, though, led to a transition the other way. And here's Watson. Another good stop, one-on-one.
How many times do you see that, though, Ed? A big save at one end, or a near miss on a scoring opportunity, and the play goes right back down the other end on a breakaway. And happens quite a few times, and it just seems to always be a characteristic of great playoff hockey.
Shots this period. Again, the Martians, Mallards with the lead this period. They get a lot of shots already in a period we're not even halfway done yet. Puck dumped in. Kerry Toporowski from behind his own net will start the play up ice. 5-on-5 here as the Mallards look to dump it in. He tried to tip it away from him, but Colborne tries to dump it forward. That's tied up at center ice. Mallards try to carry it in, but it's deflected away. Now Zinstead the other direction as the puck tipped away from him. Loose puck picked up. Power had it, but it's whistled dead behind the play. It's first with toppling to the ice, and there's a shaken up Asheville player at his own end.
Well, that's quite unfortunate for us on that situation. We sort of had a bit of a half breakaway there by Chad Power, but I think there's going to be a high kicking call here against one of our players. Quite possibly it could be Toporowski, I think, for us. I'm not exactly sure who.
Peter Armbrust is going to get the infraction. Matt Bingham looks on as his team will take another power play on a 2-minute penalty as Derek Trimmin gets up. Armbrust to the box.
It almost looks like Army's in a bit of disbelief here. He can't believe that he actually got called for it, and it's now just been changed to 4 minutes.
Oh,
Double minor as Derek Trimmin must have drawn some blood there.
they get a look at him, and it will be a 4-minute double minor. Leading by 1, Mallards will buckle down now. Here it is. Well, look at the very bottom corner. I think they may have got the wrong guy. Stick was up there a little bit. Looked like from Paul Johnson. Mallards, though, dump it in. And Akio will quarterback the power play. Pass up to the far side, but knocked down behind the goal. Dump it back to the far corner. Akia will pick it up. Akia hit by Nadeau. Tips it back in behind the net. The start to the kill for 4 minutes. Colborn all the way to center. Flips it into the left side. Ruud going after it. Mallards tip it back in behind the net. Radinko looking for an open teammate. Sends it to Colborn left side. Now along the left wing. Flips back into the corner. Kulak there to get it. Colborn keeps it in. Battle on in that left wing. And it's sent in. Dimmeline stepped out of the net. Flipped it back to the corner. Center now on the near side. Sent it in front. Looking for the man in front. They had Radinko again. Now is Colborn left point. That shot's knocked down. And the Mallards will carry the other way. A dumped ahead. And Akia will go back to get it. Here's Jinstead. Pass picked off. Kulak hands it ahead. Mallards have a breakaway chance. Allmer shoots and it's tipped this wide. Mallards hold it in though and circled it into the far side where Serov had it squirt under his stick. Toporowski will dump it back in. They've killed over a minute and a half on this 4-minute double minor. Jinstead had to get around Toporowski, who draws an offside with 8:26 to go in the period. A shorthanded, and the Mallards led the league in shorthanded goals. They had this chance, Ryan.
Gary Gulash picks off the pass and feeds Jason Allmer. He takes a little look here at Vladdy Serov, and I think he may have just thought about making a little drop pass to him, and the puck popped up off his stick, and he couldn't quite control it. At the very end of this play, the puck sort of jumped up a little bit, resulting in a bit of a fan on the shot by Jason Allmer as he's sitting there on the bench, and he probably can't believe that he didn't bury that. As he did have Galecki down and had the upper top part of the net open, but he just couldn't seem to get a handle on that puck.
With Galecki, you see him looking down like, good grief, right on the power play, and I'm still seeing shots like that.
Well, you're right, Ed. Sometimes you almost get too much time on a little breakaway like that, and you have too much time to think, and perhaps that may have been affecting Jason on that play.
Rimmon hit in the far corner. Watson trying to dig it free. Tied up over there in the corner. The players will glare at one another, and George Harrelson will step in and take charge. Gary Toporowski. Over 400 penalty minutes for the regular season. First Mallard to top that point, but Bruce Watson hit that mark as well for Asheville in the regular season. Those two found each other at the end of regulation in game one, wound up both being suspended for the second game.
Well, they both like to play a tough physical brand of hockey. That's their job, and they both do a very good job at it. So, the great thing about both those players, and especially Gary Toporowski, is that you're right, he has 400 penalty minutes, but he can also play the game. So it's one of those things where he definitely doesn't hurt you to be on the ice, and he's a tremendous asset to the team. So,
well, we've seen that illustrated a couple of times tonight with some defensive play and one save. Don't forget that.
This was a huge save at the time. It was scoreless tie at that time.
Dimmeline caught out of net, and Toporowski made a save. There's a shot from Akia, turned aside, and the Mallards get control of their own end. Halinka the other way, shorthanded. Gibson shot wide. Radinko lost it to Halinka. Mallards get it back. Dump it back in the other way. Minute 25 left on this power play. On the far side, again they look to center. Mallards are there, but Akia holds it in. Finds Colborn shot. Loose puck right of the crease, and it's covered up by Dimmeline, and the bodies crash to the ice. They'll get everybody umpiled in front of the Quad City net. 7 Dimmeline, and the bodies crash to the ice. They'll get everybody umpiled in front of the Quad City net. 7:23 to go in the period. Mallards still shorthanded for another minute 14.
Well, a little bit of a dangerous play here. Steve Gibson had a chance to clear the puck, but unfortunately the Asheville player was right in this line where he was shooting it to. And sometimes that's what happens. Ed Coach will Coach will harp on is anytime you get a chance when you're shorthanded to get that puck out of the zone, it's got to be out. Otherwise, they get a chance to score. But Dimmeline came up with a really big save there.
Dimmeline will get a fresh bottle of water. 7:23 to go in the period. Face-off will be to his right. Harold Hurst in the draw against Bruce Watson. Draw comes out for Asheville. Shot Colborn wide. Asheville again in the corner. Colborn and it hop away from him, and it's picked up by the Mallards. Power backhands it just wide of the goal. Herschel holds it in. Out is in behind the net. Akia scoops it up. Akia wants to handle. Here comes Hurst. Beats Power. Drive save made. And it's sent back to the near corner. Will Colborn and pick it up. They're still on the power play for another 35 seconds. Colborn along the near wing. Had it popped up, and a whistle will stop play. And I think we got a penalty call coming as Colborn stands over a Mallard, and they'll separate a couple of players there, and there's an injured Quad City player. Gulash is face down. And a see.
Well, Harold Hurst making a great pass to Chad Power. Getting a great slap shot there, short-handed. And then the penalty coming up here. I don't exactly see it. It's a high stick on Colborn. Colborn got his stick up and clipped Gary Gulash. Well, if there's blood, then this will be at least a 4-minute penalty.
It was moments
ago. Not that we wish for blood on Gary, but...
Referee George Harrison with the call. You see Colborn in the box, and it is a 2-minute high-sticking penalty. But both teams now at 4-on-4. But Quad City will have a power play for about a minute and a half. 32 seconds left on Armbrust's penalty. Oh, the power play ends for Asheville prematurely, Ryan, but what great work that was in the penalty kill, not just to kill the penalty in their own zone, but they controlled the puck almost the bulk of that 3.5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, we had a couple of tremendous scoring opportunities on that shorthanded situation there. And, anytime you can generate a little bit of offense when you're shorthanded, it's always a bonus. Hopefully that'll continue over here into this 4-on-4 situation for the next 32 seconds. And then for the last minute 28, we will have a 5-on-4 advantage, as long as there aren't any penalties called between now and then.
Roll in behind his own net. Chip it ahead, and here come the Mallards. The roll. And it beat it back in behind the net. Marshall on the far side looks to clear. Homer sends it back in behind the goal. Dumas near side, waiting for it there, Perot. Mallards will be in a power play in a few seconds. Now the man advantage starts. Serov tries to dig it out of the corner, but it's taken back by Ruiz. Big hit there. Sends it up ice to Badinko. All he can do is flip it in short-handed, and the Mallards power play looks to get on track. Homer again. Homer to Serov near side. Serov in the corner, back out front to Bjornley in a one-timer wide. Into the corner, it comes back out front. Bjornley again. Hits it to Homer. Homer puts it to his right. Shot by Gulash, back on the ice, deflects wide. Puck bounces along the far boards, and Ruiz sends it to center. Mallards get it back, 40 seconds to go on their power play. Bjornley to Homer, who will send it around the boards of the far corner. Gibson finds Serov. Gulash. Back to Gibson. Gibson looking for an open teammate as a pair of players in front. Now Gulash tried to send it back to the near wing. Ruiz intercept and will clear. Mallard still with a man advantage for another 15 seconds. Jinstead with an interception will try to kill off the remaining penalty time. That may have done it. Mallards the other way. 5 seconds left on the power play. Now 2-1, and both teams are at even strength, but they get a shot away anyway. Rebound was in front. They score! Hugo Pro, the loose puck in front, puts the Mallards ahead 2-0.
And what a great play there. Martin Holinka paving way there, shooting the puck in on Valecki. He made the original save, but Hugo Pro driving that net hard as he always does, grabbing up that rebound and putting it home.
Right on the spot, Hugo Pro scores. This is his 8th goal of the postseason.
The importance of just shooting that puck at the net here. Martin Holinka is doing a tremendous job of just getting the puck off. He's being draped all over by 2 or 3 players. Just shooting that puck at the net. Hugo Pro grabbing the rebound and putting it home. And it's great celebration there.
A 2-goal lead. That's something, Ryan, that this team could not achieve on Monday night that may have been the difference in Game 3.
For sure, Ed, it's always a lot easier to play when you're up by 2 or 3 goals as opposed to just having that 1-goal lead. We're getting that bit of separation here with less than 5 minutes to play in the second period. Is absolutely huge here.
The Mallards now up by 2 with under 5 minutes to go in this second period. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey.
I know it should be.
We're back, and once again, a thank you to John Deere for helping make these live broadcasts possible back to the Quad City. John Deere, proud sponsor of the Quad City Mallards. Back underway, 2-0 Mallards, 4.5 to go, second period. Quad City in their own zone, Peter Armbrust. And to send it ahead, but it bounces free at center ice. Watson cannot bring it in the offensive zone. Ran into a whole gauntlet of maroon jerseys. Lee swung Stu on the ice, trying to move it forward. The Mallards regained control. Bounced off a power stick. Rosofsky, near side, ridden down, and now in behind the net. Big pile up in front again. There's an Asheville player down on the near side post, and we'll see what we've got. As Watson hit the deck right in the crease, and that blew the play dead.
Looks like it's probably going to be an interference call here to Terry Toporowski as he pulls Watson down right next to Joe Dimmeline in front of the goal. I didn't see what exactly preceded the infraction on that play, but looks like Topper's going to be in the box for 2 minutes here.
Here it is. This is Swunstu going in behind the net, trying to fight by Armbrust, and Topper near side holding on one.
I think that's kind of a bad call. I think Topper was standing his own ground in front of the Dimmeline, and Watson sort of ran into him and unfortunately fell down. I don't really think that was much of an interference call. But sometimes it's all the angle and how the referee interprets the specific play that generates what kind of penalty is called. So I guess in that case, George must have felt it warranted a 2 minutes interference call.
No, the Mallards short-handed. And this is power play number 7 for the Smoke. They've killed 2 of their own chances with penalties while they've been on the power play. Asbanakia's drive going wide. On the far side, a big hit on Colborn. Frees it up the other way. Asheville was waiting for a penalty, and it's not forthcoming. And Rosenko picks up the loose puck behind his own net. That was a crushing hit. You can hear all the way up here. Gulon chips it near side. Asheville holds it in. Akia sends it back to Colborn. The battle in front of the net. Shoots, and it bounced off of Demmeline's glove and behind the goal. There's Nadeau. Sweeps to the far side, and Colborn holds it in. Colborn circling around. Dumps it back into the far corner. Pile on around the far side. And Gulash comes out of the pack with it. Mallards clear again. Malecki will get his troops regrouped with under a minute to go on their man advantage. Pass across the ice. attempted for Ruitt and taken away by Paul Johnson. Mallards clear out over the blue line. Mallards get it back. Here's Power with an interception. Chad Power, blast one from the blue line, 6-8 Malecki. 25 seconds to go on the power play for Asheville. Mallards out in front by 2. Colborn up the far side. Buck jumped in, circling around back to the near side. Mallards looks to tip it back out. Madelano on the near board. Akia trying to hold his ground. The blue line does hold it in. Sends it for Colborn off to the left. Get it back along the right side. Mallards tip it over the blue line this time and are able to clear the zone. That should kill the penalty. Both teams at even strength with under 2 minutes to go in this second period. Gulash keeps it in behind the net. Gibson stops it. Now out in front, McFarland with a shot. That's turned aside, and here comes Petro the other way. Flips it to his left as Genstead. Has it poked away by McFarland, and Omer backhands up the near board. Seroff chips it to center right. That's gathered in by Marshall, who dumps it back in. Gulash back near side for Vlad Seroff. McFarland back for Omer. Tried to center it. Perot will play it. And a pass picked off. Here comes Asheville the other way. They tried to hit Petro a bite. Pass out of his reach. Omer at his own blue line. And here's Seroff. Seroff gets away a shot that ate up Malecki. It's loose in the street. And Swungstu tries to get out of the zone. A bite beats Mitro back to Swungstu, who takes it into the corner. And the Mallards take it from him and a pass towards the net. Buck chip back the other way for Colborn. And Watson will try to put together one more rush. Watson right side, tries to charge toward the net, taken down, and the Mallards pick up the loose puck from behind their own net. Watson chopping away at Demeline behind the play as the Mallards send it back to the near side. Quad City Mallard is ridden to the ice, and Krasovsky took a chop at a Mallard when he went down, and Armbrust comes in. Hirsch got flashed on the ice, and Armbrust came in to take exception. Hirsch holding his face. Krasovsky still standing over him along with Watson. This will be a penalty. The arm did go up, Ryan, but here we go again. This burst is Watson and Demeline behind the play. Look at that. That was what we were talking about going on behind the play. Demeline just stood back. And then here's what happened at the other end to draw the penalty, and a little extra infraction after the whistle. Bonk.
Man, looks like Hershey's lying there dodging bullets.
Had to duck and cover in that mess. But I mean, one, here comes another one too, right? There. Couldn't quite see it, just a little out of your picture.
Well, there's a difference between playing tough and playing dirty, and right now Asheville's playing dirty. It's just not the way you should be playing hockey out here. I don't care what kind of school you're brought up in as far as how you play the game. You know, it's one thing to play hard and just go out there and run guys and hit guys hard. That's good tough hockey. But these little sticking and spearing stuff when a guy's lying on the ice, it's just despicable.
Well, it's a double minor on Colborn, so a 4-minute power play for the Mallards. You see Colborn in the box, but Ryan, the disturbing thing about the way the series has gone is so much stuff like that after the whistle. That's something we really haven't seen this year, hardly at all.
Well, you know, there's no room in the game for it, and you would never do it in a regular season game because, you know, in a regular season game, the referee's not afraid to call every single one of those instances. For some reason, the playoffs, the referees feel like they don't want to give away a championship series, and they let that stuff go. But I don't think that's the right call at all to make. I think you should punish it each and every time it happens.
Closing moments of the second period. Mallards will be on a power play when we go to the third, as the clock looks to 1 down for period number 2. They dump it in. It's in the near corner, and the horn sounds to end the second. 2 goals for the Mallards in period number 2. Vlad Serov puts them on the board, and Hugo Prue gives Quad City a 2-goal lead at the second intermission. The Mallards who lead this best-of-7 series 2-1, take a 2-0 lead to the second intermission. This is Mallards hockey on AT&T broadband cable, and Ryan, you have to feel great about the efforts that the Mallards put together and the perseverance they showed not for the first 2 periods of play so far, because had a ton of shots in the first and hard work paying off with a couple of goals in the second.
Well, you're right, exactly. We had to get more than 6 shots this game as opposed to last game in the second period, and we came over here and did that, and we ended up getting 2 goals out of it.
The Mallards lead 2-0 at the end of 2 periods. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. All right.
You got room?
Yep. Welcome back to the Asheville Civic Center here in North Carolina. This is Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Finals. Ed Beats with Ryan Lindsay. The Mallards have a 2-goal lead at the second intermission. We're going to be joined in a few moments by Mallards forward Hugo Prue. But Ryan, what a great second period it was. And Hugo's Prue's goal, figuring to be big, giving the team a 2-goal lead.
Well, the goal was all a result of Martin Holinka just shooting the puck on goal, as you say in hockey all the time. Just get it to the net. Good things can only happen from that. Hugo Prue driving the net hard, ended up getting Martin Holinka's rebound and putting it home for a big 2-0 lead here at the end of the second period.
If Hugo Prue is waiting downstairs to talk to us, and we'll talk to the Mallards forward, having a terrific playoffs and a great clutch performer in the postseason every year. Certainly Hugo, a guy that you guys have to turn to for leadership, not only all year, but certainly in the postseason. He seems to elevate his play every year in the postseason.
Well, that's just his character. He plays with such tremendous passion out there on the ice. He just comes to the forefront whenever there's a big game, and he always seems to score big goals. And that's the reason he is an assistant captain on the team and a big, big leader.
Mallards took the lead, though, with a goal by Vlad Serov that got them on the board, and then Hugo Prue giving them a 2-goal lead. Hugo joining us down on the Quad City bench. Hugo, second period, kind of persistence paying off because you had a lot of shots in that first period. Had to feel as the hard work that period set up the second.
Well, we knew, if we keep having shots like that, we're going to have a good chance to, get a goal. I mean, he's not Superman out there. I mean, we got 27 shots in the first period. We knew it was just a matter of time of getting going. I think again tonight we're going to have to beat the referee. We're going to have to beat the other team. We're mentally ready for that. I don't think there's any excuses tonight. Not the goalie, not the referees. We've got our fans who are here, make the trip with us, and it's really appreciated. And we're going to get coming out here in the third period with a good power play and hopefully bury them right there.
Huggy, it's Ryan up here. Just wanted to ask you one quick question about their physical play out there. Up here it looks like they're playing quite a chippy, dirty game. How is it down there on the ice, and how are you guys able to keep your discipline out there?
Well, I think we learned from the past. The last 2 years, we've been losing by our own fault. I think we beat ourselves, and I think we learn a lot from our mistakes. This is the best way in life to learn, and I think right now we're doing pretty good. We're still taking some bad penalties right now, but good thing right now is our penalty killing do the job. So hopefully we'll come back with even more discipline in the third period and let them having the penalties, and we'll score the goals.
Hugo, tell me about that goal you had to put the team ahead 2-0. It looked like a great effort by Martin Holinka to set it up.
I'm not sure about your question here, but I think that's what it is. What's that?
Asking about that goal, the second goal of the night for the team, and it looked like Martin Holinka made a great drive toward the net. Tell us about what you saw as you drove toward the net to try to knock home that rebound.
Well, JB did a good goal, and the first goal was pretty good. And we knew we had to keep playing hard. That's why we ended up with the second goal. We keep rushing the net. Marty has been working hard all series, but he didn't have any break. And Marty drives the net, and the puck ended down my tape, and I was by myself with the goalie, and I just kind of make a little move and, put that between his legs, and, it was in. So I guess right now we're going to focus on the third period. It's in the past now. I think if we can get a couple goals here on that power play coming up, we'll be in good shape.
Hugo, great goal on that play. Great game so far. I hope you can close it out. Thanks for the visit.
Thank you very much, guys.
Hugo Prue joining us during the second intermission as the Quad City Mallards have a 2-0 lead over the Smoke here at the Asheville Civic Center. Yeah, we talked about in that first period, Ryan, trying to duplicate that effort of the first. Did you feel good about what you saw in the second 20 and almost being the same type of period?
Oh, for sure. You know, Ed, speaking in the first intermission and remembering games like the Rockford 63 shot game, I sort of was starting to get that little bit of a feeling that here we go again, it could be happening. But so far that period that we came out, we played very, very disciplined. We took the penalties that we had to take, good penalties, if you will, and we ended up scoring goals that we needed to score. We could have possibly had 6 or 7 goals that period, but to be up 2-0 going in the third period with an abbreviated 4-minute power play, I think we're in good shape right now. Hopefully the guys can continue in the same attitude that they had so far.
Well, a good goaltender can carry, especially this time of year in the playoffs, but the Mallards got 2 in the second. They take a 2-0 lead at the second intermission over the Asheville Smoke. We're back with more. Entering our second intermission, this is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. Ed Beach back at the Asheville Civic Center. We're at the second intermission, and the Mallards lead the Asheville Smoke 2-0 here in Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Championship Series. And we're pleased to be joined in our second intermission by the Vice President of Hockey Operations for the Quad City Mallards and United Sports Ventures, Howard Cornfield. And, well, first of all, we pulled this off, or you pulled this off. We're on TV.
Oh, I don't know. I think my staff pulled it off with the sponsors that we have, and I know you've been thanking them the whole game, but Rhythm City, John Deere, Genesis, and, of course, Iowa Wireless. Without them, this game's not on, and with Tri-City Electric. So we're very grateful, and Mallard fans have those people to thank.
And it culminates, though, in a lot of hard work in a short amount of time by yourself and the staff. So I know you don't not only have certainly want to express gratitude to the sponsors, but not a whole lot of time to put these type of things together.
No, but we have no choice but to get it done. The Mallard fans want it, and they deserve it, and we had to find a way to get it done, and we accomplished it. And getting a crew together to do this is a challenge, too, and David Griggs, who did a great job in that. He does the Nashville Predator games. We're grateful to him also. So a lot of things had to come together, and we're also in competition with the Charlotte Hornets, I guess. We're playing down the road, and the other major league events down south. So we're very grateful to the crew. And David and yourself, Ed, for pulling this off. Thank you.
I'm happy to be here, certainly, but you know, this is great to have this on and have these events on because
it's been incredible. You know, on one hand, I'm dying for it to end. I've had enough. On the other hand, I also know that this is a very special team, and what Mallard fans are seeing now is, as you said, a historic team. This is a team that's going to be very hard to touch again, as far as record, as far as quality of people on and off the ice, and, you know, Paul McLean and the great job he's done. So I'm realizing it's something very special, and as the days dwindle down now, I'm starting to enjoy it, and I'll enjoy it a lot more with a win tonight, though.
Another great that we've seen in this building. I know that it's great to be able to broadcast these games back to the Mallards fans in the Quad Cities. But wow, what a sight we've seen all over this building with the maroon and green jerseys all over the Civic Center.
Well, I'm sitting in the end zone, and the Mallards fans are pretty loud there, so I see them at center ice, and they're terrific. There were carloads of people outside, and the buses that came down, and you know, we're just very grateful. The players appreciate it, and the organization appreciates it, and we're going to hopefully reward you with a cup.
You know, this is kind of unique, though, because this is the 5th straight year in the finals, but this is a long, long way to go for fans to travel. I mean, Flint's a long ways, but the journeys to Muskegon and Flint, this pales in comparison to that road trip.
Oh, Ed, this was a nice trip. This is only about 12 hours. You're in the mountains. It's cool outside. If you got allergies like me, you don't want to come here because the pollen's real bad, but it's an absolutely beautiful place to come to, and, I mean, if you got to play away from home, you might as well play in a pretty place, and this has been a good place for it.
Certainly a beautiful setting, and as we look to close out this year, this, of course, the final road trip of the year, obviously, with Game 5 tomorrow. Then we go back to the mark for the last 2, but you can't help but to think about 2001, 2002 around the corner some point. Got to deal with it at some point, maybe in the next a couple of weeks. But it's going to be hard to build off this, isn't it?
We find some way to do it every year. We'll keep the nucleus of guys that we have right now, and we'll build on it with some more great rookies. Some players will retire, some players will move on, and there's no question I want to go for a 650-win season because that, once again, is probably going to be a record that's going to be untouchable.
You know, as you build each team every year and you look at the depth that you're trying to put together for the team, is that in the back of your mind at all, knowing that that you'll retain some, but you're inevitably going to lose a few? As you build that depth, is that important for maybe 1, 2, 3 years down the road of the nucleus?
You know, Ed, this year when I looked at the team early in the season, I thought we had 1 or 2 too many guys depth-wise. And as the call-ups went all year, we really did not play with a full team, even throughout the entire season, because Marty Holinka was up, and then when Marty eventually comes back, we lose Cam Severson to Cincinnati. So we never really had the chance to play with a full Mallard squad this year. We still won 55 games. As far as recruiting, we've already had recruits in, and my philosophy is because we push the players up to the next level, the thing to do is over-recruit, get as many people as we can in here, and bring quality people in. So that's in the forefront of my mind.
As if this year couldn't have gotten any better. Yesterday, you get the news from the Washington Capitals that they signed Martin Holinka. What kind of emotions did you feel for him when you heard that news?
Very proud of him. I can't tell you how proud of him. He's a kid that came in from a Division III college and just has worked very, very hard. And everything he's gotten, he's earned. And one thing about Martin, about any of our players, we have probably about 5 or 6 guys that could play at the next level. Each one of these guys are looking for a break. And Martin got that break. He took advantage of it, and it's led to an NHL contract. And you know what? I'm going to be at his first NHL game. I'm very proud of him.
We'll definitely look forward to that. He signed a deal with the Capitals yesterday, a 1-year contract. Howard, thanks for the visit. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for making this possible.
Ed, it's my pleasure. Don't make me climb those steps again.
Oh, we appreciate you making the climb, finding your way to our location.
And how's Wolfman Lindsay doing?
Hanging in there, doing great. Having fun with him.
Okay. Right after the playoffs, that beard comes off.
And I know a lot of folks will thank you for it. We talked a little bit about the 2001-2002 season. You can join the Mallards team for next year with a corporate partnership with the Quad City Mallards. For more information on that, call 309-764-7825. It's 309-764-7825 for some great corporate partnerships that would include tickets, promotions, and all sorts of ways to be involved with the Quad City Mallards next year. Mallards have a 2-0 lead at the second intermission. You see part of the flock enjoying the Mallards lead at the Asheville Civic Center. Back with more in our second intermission after this break. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. You are looking back live at the Asheville Civic Center in North Carolina in the Great Smoky Mountains, where the Mallards lead the Asheville Smoke 2-0 here in Game 4 of the Colonial Cup Finals. Mallards out in front. Not only got that goal to break the ice against Brent Bilecki, who's having an outstanding game, but got that second goal. That seems awfully big, especially in light of Game 3.
Well, you know, last game we played here in Asheville, we couldn't seem to get that separation, that 2-goal separation that is key in the championship series. Tonight we have that. Hopefully we can just continue to add some pressure and build on that lead.
And we'll take a look at some of that action in the second period. First of all, Joe Dimmeline, while Bilecki's made all sorts of great saves, not to be overlooked. He's having a great game and net himself with 2 shutout periods.
Well, Joe does a great job of following a bouncing and deflected puck here.
And this is the Mallards' first goal as you get Vlad Serov on a second effort. On top shelf to give the Mallards a 1-0 lead.
Not a lot of room there, but Vladdy, the goal scorer he is, finds it.
Here's a break for the Smoke, another strong save, and here comes goal number 2 for Quad City as Prue moves in front, and a great move going across the crease and puts the Mallards up by 2. I think this is another look. This is a sweet move by Hugo Prue going backhand, Ryan. A nice move because, you know, you get that rebound in front, and it seems like a player's instinct will be to pull the trigger back real quick. He actually hung on there for a second and made a little deke and then went backhand.
Well, you know, in his career, he's almost scored 200 goals now. professionally, so he definitely knows how to score a goal, and that's just showing the patience in front of the net there that all great goal scorers can score. So Hugo with another big goal for us in the playoffs. He's rising up to the occasion once again.
And as you look at the third period, Asheville still very much alive, down 2. But it's a tall order to get 2 goals on Quad City inside of 20 minutes, as Dimmeline is having the type of game he is.
Well, you're right. As long as we can continue to keep most of their shots from the outside of the house, which is basically to say the outside of the crease and slot area, we should be okay as far as him seeing those shots. When they start breaking, when our defensemen start breaking down and they start getting shots in around the crease area, that's when you have to worry. So hopefully we can continue to do what we've done so far, stay on the offensive pressure, and not allow anything defensively.
2-0 Quad City. Back to start the third. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. We are back and set to start the third period. In the second period alone, the Mallards had another 15 shots on goal for a game total of 42 in the first 2 periods of play. Face-offs even. And yet power plays even in that period as well, although the last 2 represented for the Mallards haven't been played out yet. They only had 2 power play goals, and then that double minor on Colborne had them in their third and fourth power play of this period. Now, both teams have had 7 power plays in the game, which is kind of a deceiving stat. They were weighted pretty heavily to Asheville's side in terms of the majority of the man advantages. But the Mallards getting a double minor break. It's really right now 3:34 left in penalty time. Boy, what a golden opportunity to stretch this lead and maybe put Asheville away here in Game 4.
Well, it's definitely something that we're going to be looking for here. I'm sure Coach McLean has talked to the troops there in the dressing room and stressed how important it is to get at least one good goal-scoring chance here on the next 3 minutes and not give up anything defensively at the same time. But if we can make it stretch to a 3-0 lead, you're right. It would have the makings for a big win on our part just to be able to get one more goal here. So, who knows what's going to happen. But I keep playing great, but as long as we get some pressure in net, there's that opportunity to bury another goal by him.
Again, the Mallards on an extended power play as we start the third period. Gibson on the near side, falls down. Asheville cleared. Gulage will start to play up the other direction. On the near side. The Gulage, now they dump it in. Malecki knocked it in behind his net. Gulage holds it in right point, but it's tipped away. Jenstead on the fly as a teammate with him. Can't get a pass away. Perot goes to the ice and blocked the passing angle. They get a shot away anywhere and score. Derek Clemens makes it 2-1 as he scores shorthanded.
Well, that's exactly what we definitely did not want to have happen here at the start of the third period. A quick shorthanded goal by the Asheville Smoke on a sort of a busted play in the corner. I'm not exactly sure how the puck ever got in front of the net. It's sort of an innocent-looking play as Crimmins just sort of picked up the puck in the corner and just sort of floated at the net. Perhaps Joe Dimmeline may have been screened on the play, but nonetheless, it's a 2-1 game now, and that makes this power play all that much more important here.
Jenstead took out Kelly Perot in that play, and that seemed to trigger that scoring chance. He got ringed into the boards and then held into the boards, and that freed up Kremen and the puck. Mallards still in the power play. Got to get it back now, don't you?
That's where this power play becomes so important. Now you have to score on the power play.
Comes out to the left point. One back near side, Jobin. Jobin again, his drive. Save, loose in front, rolls back in on Malecki.
Another big save there by Malecki.
The Mallards have their lead trimmed to 1. 2:19 to go on the Mallards power play and a double minor on Colborne. Now the numbers Kremen, his third goal of this postseason.
And I believe it's second in 2 games here for them.
There he is again. He'll take the face-off against Mallards center Harold Hirsch. On the draw, Jovan flips it in front, and it's kicked out on the far side of the goal. And a stick got up again. Play stopped as Malecki had it covered, but Hirsch took another little pop, and again, Akia's stick winds up in Hirsch's midsection. Face-off again coming up. This is to the left of Malecki.
There's still over 2 minutes left here on this power play for the Mallards. It'd be nice to start getting some of those shots that we had in the first period on that first power play of the game that we had, and really take the momentum away from Asheville here as they have a little bit of momentum after scoring that short-handed goal.
Here's Hirsch. On the face-off. Brings it back to the right side, Jovan. In behind the goal, Hirsch again. All the way to the wing, now the point. Sends it in front, tips in front. They chop away in the crease. It's still loose. Bodies collide, a big pile-up. And in the pile-up with Hirsch on the near side, he's still drawing attention. And the pile-up in the crease, but somebody's not afraid to at least go skating fast towards 26 to the mouth.
Well, I believe there's going to be some matching penalties here to both Harold Hirsch. But that's okay. It will remain a 5-on-4 power play advantage.
They then said take down the McFarland of air. But somebody that's flying it, Hirsch didn't do anything. But for whatever reason, Mallards center has been a target all series.
Well, yeah, he seems to be getting away with a lot of things and doing a great job of being just a pest out there on the ice for us. So, as long as he continues to draw penalties, that's exactly what we want.
You learned something about that, did you, this year?
Perhaps I may have learned a little bit about that. Coach seems to like that, so it seems to be a great little ploy on behalf of us. And it's a lot of fun to play that way, too, actually. I don't know if you mentioned it. It's a lot of fun to have the rest of the team just pulling their hair out, ready to absolutely want to take a shot at you, but Hershey's doing a good job of that this series.
Mallards still on a power play as the penalties were matching. Asheville cannot clear. Jovan holds it in, sends it in front, and it bounces back to the near side. McFarland trying to send it back in behind the net. Mallards will get it back along the far boards. In front again, a one-timer that bounced off the goaltender. Right side, this is Holinka. McFarland hauled down in front. Mallards play on. There's his shot from the high slot. Bangs away near side and cleared up the ice by the smoke. Holinka looking to send it forward. McFarland drops it off for Holinka. Here's Prue trying to move through the slot. Drops it off for Perot. Back to Prue left side. Sends it in front. They score!
Marty Holinka, right on the doorstep there. Started the play and finishes the play all by himself on a great pass from Hugo Prue.
That's a classic power play goal. Holinka from the right wing. Sent it in. Great puck movement. And Holinka got an open look from the right side. It's 3-1 Quad City.
Just terrific passing here. Kelly Perot dumps the puck off to Hugo Prue, and he finds Martin Holinka wide open, standing off to the side of the net.
Nice little move by Prue. He finds Holinka. Holinka with his first goal of the playoffs for Quad City, assisted by Prue and Perot. First goal of the playoffs in the UHL anyway for Holinka. He led Portland and scored in the playoffs.
Well, the boys have been sort of ribbing Holinka there as you get a good look at him on the bench for the last couple of days about him not being able to score at this level in the playoffs so far. Just in good humor and just trying to jest with each other. And I know that's deep down has been weighing on his mind, and it's nice to see him score a big goal there. As you saw his celebration after, it was almost like a relief factor that there it is, monkey's off his back. Now watch him go.
He has an assist already tonight.
He's playing a tremendous game tonight.
Mallards out of their own end. Cannot clear. Tried to beat a man in a squat, but Ruud had it out of his reach. 17-10 to go here in the period as Paul McLean looks on. Team back out in front by 2 now.
Well, you know, it would have been nice to have that count as the only goal on that power play, but hey, you know what? Sometimes you give up those goals for no known reason. You know, it's just one of those floaters at the net that Dimline just happened to be caught without actually getting a good view of the puck. So, you know, it's nice to see that the boys responded though on that same power play.
Shots now in the game, Ryan. Mallards 50, Asheville 25. And 8-1 here in the third. Toporowski hitting the Nadeau with a pass. Mallards will hold it in. Nadeau trying to feed it back to the slot. Turned aside though by Dumas. Mallards able to keep it in. Nadeau trying to feed it in front to Power, and it's out of his reach, but Mallards keep it in. Set up the near side. Topper tries to hold it in again. Asheville got it to center, but Nadeau will dump it back in the other way. Dumas will get it back. Pass though turned over. Armbrust in front. Still circling. Sends it off to the far wing, and it's dumped in behind the goal. Asheville sends it back along the near side and into the crowd. Right below us with 16:25 to go in the third. Mallards down in front 3-1.
Well, you're right. As starting off a period like this, as important it is in the third, if you have an 8-1 shot lead, is showing exactly that the Mallards are doing exactly what Pope wants them to do here.
And you see shots on goal for this period now. Mallards just haven't let up. When you guys are rolling, Ryan, you're just relentless in terms of the shots you put up.
Well, you know, it's sort of a contagious thing. I guess the momentum thing. It just seems like once you get 2 or 3 or 4 shots in a row, it just snowballs from there, and it's very hard for the opposing team to stop a team when they're on that sort of a roll.
Bjornley sent it over to the far corner. Mallards try to center, pass broken up. Asheville looking to send it out of their zone. Up ice. Mitro sent it in. Dimline stepped out of the crease with it offside. They'll blow it dead with 16:05 to go here in this third period. Mallards down in front by 2, and a big goal by that guy, Martin Alenka, gets them back a 2-goal lead. And, you know, we talked about how Asheville responded after the Mallards scored. Now that kind of response has got to feel good for Quad City's bench as they go back up 2.
I guess an old cliche you can use in this circumstance is, you know, the good teams always seem to respond well with adversity. We just gave up a goal, quite a bit of adversity to make it 2-1 on short-handed goal at that, and we responded right away, less than 2 minutes later, to make it back to a 2-goal lead with a 3-1 score here. So, you know, I guess that represents something we've done all year long, and it shows why we've been so successful and such a good team all year.
Inside, here comes Asheville. Gibson gets control ahead to Ulmer. Pass knocked down. Mallards get it back. Gibson looks to dump it in. And over in the far corner, Tom Wilson tries to retrieve it for the smoke. Perot holds it in. The pass knocked away. Here's Andreev the other way. He fires a shot. Saved by Dimline, and he'll cover up. Mallards out in front 3-1. Looking to take a 3-1 lead in this series. This is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. We're back at the Asheville Civic Center. A chance to get season tickets next year at the mark for Quad City Mallards Hockey. You can still renew them and avoid a price adjustment for next year. Call 309-764-7825 for season ticket information. Mallards will even add a new season ticket category next year for this 314-15 in the upper part of the upper end zone. All sorts of great Mallards Season ticket packages available in 764-7825, the number. Offsides on Asheville as they brought it in. They played nearly 5 minutes into this third period with the Mallards ahead 3-1. We talked about that big Holinka goal. And this would be a lot different feeling if it's still 2-1.
Yeah, it was, and if it were to be 2-1, then any shot could tie up that game at any minute. So, you know, hopefully on the bench, our team continues to play as if it is a 2-1 game here, and they keep seeking out and hunting down and trying to score some goals, and not lay back here and think, well, it's a 3-1 lead, we got the game in the bag. And the actual team has shown on occasion that they won't quit, and they will definitely keep coming back.
Face-off coming up. Actually going to repair a part of the boards as you along the near side. So some work being done along the boards near side to get play resumed once again. Again, special thanks to John Deere for helping make these broadcasts possible, live back to the Quad Cities and even to the Muscatine area, or anyone that has a satellite dish. John Deere, proud sponsor of the Quad City Mallards over the last 6 seasons. And again, thank you to all those folks at John Deere who made this night possible and bringing the action to you for today and for tomorrow. We're back here on AT&T Broadband Cable Channel 73 in the Quad Cities for Game 5 tomorrow night. Will it be the cup clincher? We'll see. Watson at center ice, and it poked away from him. And it's dumped ahead by McFarland. Asheville gets it back. With Mitro near side. Sent it width to the ice, and Bjornley chips it back to center. And an offsides on Asheville as it hit Wasowski before he got back across the Mallards blue line. How much of a lift does it feel like, Ryan, to get that second goal? I know we're talking about it a lot here, but it's such a big thing, it seems like.
Well, you can almost feel it right now as you sit here and just feel the enthusiasm in the actual crowd here. It seems to have taken them out after they were quite rowdy when Derek Simmons scored to make it a 2-1 game. That goal Martin Lincoln scored just minutes afterwards had totally taken this crowd out. You can sort of feel that perhaps the game has slowed down a bit to a lull here.
Kulak with a drive out front, rebound, deflected back to the near side. Smoke trying to clear. And it's tied up in the corner. Gibson battling court control. Benefield trying to chip it ahead. They tried to beat Serov in the slot. That's knocked away. Here comes Asheville. They've got a break. Benefield ridden out of the play. Another nice defensive play by Perot. Had a chance, but couldn't get a clean shot away. Perot had him tied up and not so. Asheville back in their own end to regroup. Pass at center ice. Trying to dump it in. Colborn dumped in. Partially fanned on. Toplowski sends a pass ahead. Colborn gets it back. Johnson knocked the puck down at his own blue line. Jinstead can't do anything with it. Sends Johnson into the far corner. Bodies battling there. Puck swept along the near side boards and rolling link to the ice the other way. And that will be an icing call against the Mallards, and a face-off coming up in the Asheville offensive end. Fuel, fire, and desire. Mallards 2001 playoff souvenirs are available. You can visit the Mallards Nest in downtown Moline and also pick up some great Colonial Cup Finals merchandise. Mallards Nest is open tomorrow, starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Stop in there for 2001 playoff souvenirs and Colonial Cup Finals merchandise at the Mallards Nest in downtown Moline. Face-off coming up to the right of Jimmeline. This is Holinka and Watson on the draw. And it comes back along the near side for Bjornley. The pass ahead. McFarland cannot control. Brasovsky dumps it in on net. And the Mallards look to head the other way. Up the far boards. Brasovsky trying to tip it back in. Mallards still in control. Jobin. Freddie at the blue line. Trying to drop it off for McFarland. Got fouled into the boards near side. No penalty call. Now there's a penalty coming. And the whistle will blow the play dead. Not sure we were going to have one there. That may not have even been the play of Freddie's hit. But it was something else near side that might have drawn the call.
Terrible cross-check by Watson on Palenka. If you get a chance to look at it here, watch him absolutely try and take Palenka's head off here with his stick. It's not the play, actually.
A little bit in front of that drew it. You see Watson on top of Palenka, and that is what drew the penalty. It is a 2-minute infraction on Bruce Watson with 13:02 to go in the third. The Mallards lead 3-1. Face off to Bilecki's left. Raposa sends it to the far side, but it's sent back in behind the net. Palenka had it hop off his stick, and it's taken away by Asheville. Both short-handed. Trying to move it in near side, has to dump it back to the corner. Jovan back to get it. He gets blasted by Zinstead, but the puck sent to center ice. Raposa dumps it back in. Joby still looking fine as he sends the puck ahead, and now Palenka will carry it in the offensive zone. Comes back, looks like it hopped over the blue line, Blue did take it in offside. Jovan on the receiving end of a couple of big hits, but you wouldn't know it as you watch him skate around.
Well, no, sometimes those big hits actually sound and look a lot worse than they are.
Here it is as he tries to move the puck around. Actually, this is the Mallards taking it the other way. And offside by Prue as he brought it in. And a face-off coming up. There's a minute 20 still left on Watson's penalty. Mallards find Ulmer. Gets away a shot saved by Bilecki. And another nice stop. Well, one thing about Watson's penalty, when you're down 2 and getting late now, 12:15 to go in the third, really not a penalty they could afford.
No, it's not. It just shows the lack of discipline that this Asheville team has showed in the games that they've lost. It's giving a team a power play with a 2-goal lead with only 12 minutes to play. It's really not the stuff that you want to do if you were trying to win a game, win a championship for that matter.
Gibson over in the far corner. And a drop off for Serov, and now Ulmer. Mallards, Ulmer sends it to Serov in the corner. Serov getting room along the left wing. Out front to Perot. Back to Serov. Partially fanned to the one-timer. Plays Ulmer in front, and he scores. The Mallards lead 4-1. Another sequence of passes in a blink of an eye. And Jason Ulmer scores his 7th goal in the playoffs on a terrific power play setup.
Well, like we just talked about, you don't want to give us too many power plays in a row. We're burning with it. And once again, there you go. Jason Ulmer on a great pass. Blaster off. Picking the puck up off the boards and just firing it across to Ulmer. He's standing there.
What a pretty goal. 11:53 to go in the third. Serov and Perot, the 2 assists on Jason Ulmer's goal, his 7th of the playoffs. He leads the team coming in with 18 playoff points. His 2nd point of the night, he had an assist on Serov's goal, the first goal of the game. Puck dump link to the ice the other way. Asheville touches it up for an icing call against Quad City. The Mallards now have their biggest lead of the night, up 4-1.
Well, this is where things could start to get a little bit ugly.
Well, we'll wait and see how it transpires. Mallards up 3. This is Iowa Wireless. Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. We are back at the Asheville Civic Center. Jason Ulmer scoring, putting the Mallards ahead 4-1 with 11:34 to go. Ulmer, that goal was his 20th point to this postseason.
You know, he's just dominated from day one in this season. He's had just a tremendous rookie season. And when you get a quick look at the faceoff, that's a big reason why we're dominating this period.
There's another one they won. Mallards clear the zone. It's going to go link to the ice, though. Face on of the puck. McFarland trying to get there. Does to avoid the icing, I believe, as it comes along the near board. Asheville, though, gets it back. And up the other way, it's dumped ahead by the Smoke. Malenka back to get it. And a pile up now on the far side at Suze, and we've got a penalty coming. McFarland was also tangled up behind the play with an Asheville player, and penalty calls will be handed out.
Well, this is the tendency in a 4-1 game where it can start to get ugly. As we remember, the last game that was in Quad City, Game 2, things started to get ugly after the score went 4-1 and then 5-1. So hopefully both cooler heads will prevail on both sides here.
Hugo Prue gets the roughing call. And he seems almost amused by. He'll take a seat in the box. The Mallards are short-handed. This is Asheville's 8th power play, and the Mallards have shut out the man advantage so far, which is significant. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Here's the draw. Hirsch and Kremen head-to-head in the face-off, left to Dimmelon. On the face-off, it comes to Perreault, trying to clear, knocked down by Radenko. Kremen chopped at it, and it comes over to the near point. Colborne held it in. Near side, Kremen banged into from behind by Power. In the corner, it's Shinstead. Off along the right side, Derek Kremen spinning away, trying to get away from Hirsch, who knocked it away, and Kremen down. He was in pain momentarily, and we got a penalty call coming. And this could have the Mallards down 2 men with 10:45 to go. It's flash. That's going to go against Quad City, I believe. And the Mallards still leading by 3. Will have a penalty to kill to maintain this margin. Asheville, the golden opportunity now to get back in this thing.
Well, it's not really what you want to do. It seems like it was a bit of a splash there.
Here's a better look.
There's a loose puck, and all of a sudden a flash by, I believe it's Kelly Perreault.
Well, you can see him trying to play the puck. It wasn't intentional, but Kremen got slashed pretty hard as he came across. Puck just a little out of the reach, wound up getting him on the arm, opposed to chopping the puck out of the zone. Puck turned over, went behind Shinstead. Mallards cannot clear, held in right point by Asheville. Pass though, near side, broken up, and Halenka will spin it away. Well, back at it, wound up bouncing off of the Asheville bench with 10:23 left in this third period.
Marty Halenka with that tremendously long reach there, showing why he's so effective with that pick of his. Normally in a 5-on-3, the players can pass that puck around the outside of the zone without any problem at all, but Marty Halenka right up in the actual offensive stage, swatting and would stick around, and he ended up batting the puck down and getting it out. So he brings a lot of things to the ice, and obviously I've seen by the eyes above just at this level.
Face-off coming up, and Asheville controls at center ice. Mallards knock it away from Colborne. Lighted up with the other direction. Here comes the Smoke again. Akeem will dump it into the far corner. Gobin back to get it. Lindsay on the glass, but Asheville can control. Genstead again. Has Ruitt in front, fires a shot well wide. And it's picked up near side by the Smoke. Radenko fires a shot, and it scores to make it 4-2.
Well, Ed, that puck must have had eyes, because Joe Dimline was right there on top of it. But Radenko, a sneaky, smart player, just ended up shooting the puck, hoping for the best, and he ended up finding the back of the net.
Former Quad City Mallard Radenko bangs it in as you see Dimline lose his stick. Still not sure how that squirted through. Asheville from behind their own net. They converted that power play. They still have a man advantage. for 50 seconds. They're still on the power play. Scoring the two-man advantage. Now it's a 5-on-4. Ruud near side. Drops it off for Jinstead. Jinstead sends it out front. Mallards trying to poke it away. Here's Colborn. Colborn around the defender right side. Sent it in front. Had Jinstead but couldn't hit him with a pass. Radinko right side. And a pass blocked by Toporowski. That was big. They had an open man in front. Topper doesn't deflect that. It may be a one-goal game. Colborn again a drive. Loose in the crease and set back out front. Radinko tries to spin away from Serov. Now left side, Topper has him tied up. But Colborn plays it to his right. There's a drive knocked down by a sliding Omer. Akean shot blocked by the Rookie of the Year. And Serov tips it out of the zone. Radinko dumps it into the far side. Jason Omer, 97 points in the regular season, but plays like that is why you love him, huh? Big collision behind the play. Gulak leveled by Swanstu. Mallards, though, have it tied up, and Asheville takes it out of their end. Here comes the smoke on the fly. Drive by Marshall, turned aside by Dimmeline. Gibson near side. Taken down by Watson to get the pass away, and here comes Chauvin. Drops it for Prue in a high slot, shoots, and a 6-save made. Over in the far corner. Picked up by Marshall, sent up but not out. Now both teams are back at even strength. 5-on-5 hockey again. Mallards at center ice. It's Perreault. He will dump it in. Circles around in front of the Asheville bench. Smoke take it away. Up by Benefield. Hit into the boards and ridden out of the play by Kelly Perreault. Armbrust trying to send it to the far side. Pass knocked down by Ruud. They battle in behind the goal. And it comes back along the near side. Perreault will backhand it out. Hirsch knocked off the puck by Colborn, but back to get it is Wilson. Puck bounces off the far side, right to Dimmeline, who taps it to Perreault. Mallards looks to move it in the other way. Pass winds up going length of the ice. Asheville trying to move it ahead. Bjornley breaks up the pass, and here's Patrick Nadeau. Sends it right side. In front, they had an open Mallard, and the pass went by him from the left side. Chauvin sends one wide. Now McFarland battles for it back. Runs into Wilson, and they're able to dump the puck length to the ice again. Mallard send it back near side for Chauvin. Went to the ice the other way for Patrick Nadeau. Circles around near side. McFarland there gets banged into. Wilson came in, knocked McFarland ahead. He lost his helmet. Sent it through the slot again. Left side. Paul Johnson fires a shot. Ricochets out to Toporowski. Trying to send one to the slot again, and it's taken away by Asheville. They try to beat Jenstead, and Dimmeline will get there first and send it back near side. Kremen trying to tie the puck up near side, but Holinka lost it. Kremen trying to drive to the net, couldn't control. Jenstead spinning around, trying to beat Kremen, ridden out of the play by Paul Johnson, and Patrick Nadeau has the loose puck. Mallards looks to move it in. Asheville gets it back. They try to feed it up ice. Mallards break that up. Here comes Omer. He'll dump it into the right corner. Serov flying after it, but the goaltender sends it back to the far side. Mallards holds it in, and Asheville takes it away. At center ice, it's dumped back ahead by Kelly Perreault. Now Raposa for Asheville. Sends it ahead. Serov intercepts inside the blue line, fires a shot. It's taken off the back of the net. It's but they score! Jason Omer with his second of the game as the Mallards got it from behind the Asheville goal. They found Jason Omer along the far post, and the Mallards lead by 3 again with 5:29 to go.
That's just great.
Gibson looks to get that assist, Ryan.
Great offensive pressure there. Vladdy Serov keeping the puck in, and Steve Gibson taking that puck off the back of the net and finding Jason Omer all alone.
Serov sent it in, and Gibson found Omer, and it's a 5-2 Quad City lead. Under 5.5 to go in the third. Gibson, who came into this game leading his team in assists, gets his 12th of the playoffs.
Well, I think you're going to get a lot of assists when you're playing on line with Jason Homer and Rod Surratt, that's for sure. Not to take anything away from Gib because he's a tremendous player.
Mallards in control behind their own net. Johnson the other way. Knocked back to center. Ruitt trying to get it back to Benefield, but that's broken up. Ryan, are you looking here to just kind of kill the clock, or?
Well, you're definitely looking here to do something.
And Benefield and Toporowski look to do something as they come together near his side. But the Mallards now lead 5-2, 4:54 to go. This is Iowa Wireless, Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. We are back here tomorrow. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night, 6:30 Central Time, as the Quad City Mallards take on the Asheville Smoke here at the Asheville Civic Center for Game 5 of the Colonial Cup Championship. And maybe chance to see the Mallards clinch the Colonial Cup as they attempt to take a 3-1 series lead tonight. Same time, same station, 6:30 Central for Game 5. The Mallards are 4:45 away from taking a 3-1 series lead. Farland chips it out of the zone. Freeman had it ahead, but is dumped in by Radenko. Mallards the other way. Farland trying to chip it forward. It's knocked down. Here's Chauvin. Ahead to Holenka. It's a shot away from the blue line, and Asheville will take it the other direction. It's dumped over to the far corner. Asheville is changing, and that's going to be whistled down for an icing call with 4:10 to go here in the third. Mallards lead 5-2.
Well, earlier, Ed, you asked what you want to do when you have a 5-2 lead late in a game like this, and basically you just want to get to that red line and dump that puck in. Make sure that you don't give them anything defensively, and you don't take any chances offensively. So basically, get that puck up to the red line, get it in, and just fall back and play a 1-4 or a 5-man back system, and just kind of bore them right to death out there, basically. It doesn't have to be pretty if you're up 5-2. You've already done your dirty work to get up to that level, so it's right now it's just kill the clock and let's just get out of here with a win.
Time on the Mallard side now, leading by 3 with right about 4 minutes to go. Asheville sends it to center. Toporowski in his own end. And ahead, it is tipped off of Hirsch's stick. Right on net. Colborn the other way. Toporowski picks that off at center ice. Kind of feathers it ahead. Asheville will send it forward again. They dump it into the far corner and are changing again as the Mallards take it back. Paul Johnson up the near side. Off to the center ice. They can't get onside. It's 1-2. But still in his offensive zone. And Asheville can't really get on track here. They like to mount an attack, but can't get it and keep it in the offensive zone right now. And time a factor for Asheville.
No, it's very difficult to start anything when you're Quad City has 5 men back defensively.
Gibson trying to drop a pass for Serov, and it's collected back at Mallard's own blue line by Perose, who was knocked away. Or Serov again. His drive goes wide. Gibson on the far side. Back to Vlad Serov. Ukrainian trying to center. Instead, it comes along the near board. Perot holds it in. Sends it in front. Kicked out of there by Balecki. There's puck on the far side. Smoke finally get to it. They got to head the other way. They need to change. Gulash picks the pocket of Benefield and finds Gibson. That's just out of his reach. Mallards will change now. Asheville looking to send it to center ice. That pass broken up. Radenko at center ice. Blasted it, bounced off Demoline's glove, but Bjornley there to play it. Sidestepped the big check and sends it out of the zone as it bounced off Derek Freeman. Dumped again along on the far boards. Freeman went after Gibson, knocked his helmet off, and Gibson backhands it out of the zone, and George Harrison raises the arm up after seeing that collision. Interference, believe is what he called. And that Gibby going off?
Looks like Gibby's going to be the culprit on that play. It actually looked to me to be more of a self-defense action as opposed to an interference action. And Sherman was bearing down right on him and just sort of put his stick out to protect himself. And, well, I guess in a 5-2 game, sometimes referee feels he's got to give the other team a little bit of a chance.
Simpson takes the penalty. Here's the replay. You can judge for yourself.
I guess it was an interference penalty.
Right. Play that one again?
Well, 5-2, 2 minutes to go. Basically, that's we're going to call those. Although that could have been interference as well.
On the face-off, here's Colborn with a one-timer that's knocked down. Sent back out to him. Akia trying to send it in front. That went through traffic to the near side. Tipped them on the boards and batted out of the zone by Joe Van with a glove hand. Whistle stop play. George Harrison caught him chopping going on behind the play and wants to put a stop to that. That is a good call for matching.
Yeah, it is.
Not that necessarily the Mallards were drawn into anything, but George Harrison wants to clean up play. Does not want this thing to happen like what occurred on Saturday in the series.
Yeah, right there. That's a vicious.
There was that and then the collision at center right after that. Colborn knows the guy off.
No, you're right. George has done a great job tonight of controlling the bad blood that's spilled over between these two teams following game 2. He has done a good job keeping away most of that dirty stuff behind the play.
I thought it'd be matching, but it's not. Colborn gets a high stick, and that's it.
No, I believe that was the right call. There was a collision at center right afterwards, as you said, but I think it was all a result of the high stick to Hugo Cruz's face there.
So Asheville kills another power play by themselves, which is about the 4th or 5th time that's happened tonight, and it's a 4-on-4 game.
Those are the kind that I like to see on our side.
Well, this is the best power play in the regular season and awfully good in the playoffs, and they've got to look back at that and realize that shooting themselves in the foot that many times really, really hurt in this pivotal game. Minute 36 to go, and the Mallards lead by 3. Paul McLean, the head coach of the Mallards, has seen his team go shorthanded now 10 times tonight, which I'm sure is not ideal in his mind in a championship series game. But first of all, unbelievable work in the penalty kill, especially in that double minor early.
Yeah, you're right. It's not what we wanted to do at the start of the game, give them 10 power plays, that's for sure. But, hey, the course of the game sometimes plays out differently than the script you can write beforehand, and you just have to deal with what happens when it happens. Done a good job of that tonight.
Yeah, the execution, though, certainly is to be proud of. As the closing moments tick away here in Game 4. On the far side, Smoke looked to send it out of the zone. Andreev fed it back for Ruud, who tries to dump it in, but again, they can get nothing going offensively, and we're nearing the 1-minute mark of regulation as the Mallards look to recapture a 2-game lead in this series. Here comes Asheville the other way. Wilson sent a shot on net, turned aside. Smoke holds it in. Drive by Rodinko, deflected off the post, I believe, or maybe Dimmeline as he sprawled to the ice, but the clock stops with 36 seconds to go in regulation. But Ryan, the Mallards will have back a 3-1 series lead and a chance to close it out tomorrow. And I know that it's the toughest, the clinching game is always the toughest one as you look at this replay again, but this team is awfully good, the Mallards are, when they have a chance to finish something in terms of whether it was a Terry Cup in the regular season, 50 wins, or a sweep of Fort Wayne in the conference final.
Well, not to jinx anything here at all, right, but you're quite right. And a lot of us have talked before the playoffs started about our chances and how we felt we'd respond in a big game. And it's true. You just hit the nail on the head. Exactly what we said earlier was that every big game this year we've responded very well and played some of our best hockey. And you know what? Tonight was one of those big games, and we had to respond, and we responded very well. That's what looks to be here a 5-2 victory.
Mallards controlling it, looks to run out the clock. They're on a power play now, not that they care, as the final second ticks away. Wilson will chase after the puck. Armbrust gets it back, and a penalty call is coming at the end of regulation as Armbrust took a shot, and Wilson goes in for a few words and a feigned glove towards Joban, but this one is over, and the Quad City Mallards have a commanding 3-1 lead in the Colonial Cup final. The Mallards will congratulate Joe Demeline as Quad City wins it here in Asheville 5-2. Mallards take game 4, and this is Iowa Wireless Quad City Mallards Championship Hockey. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Iowa Wireless, by Genesis Health System, by John Deere, by Rhythm City Casino, and by Tri-City Electric. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 6:30 Central as the Quad City Mallards take on the Asheville Smoke at the Asheville Civic Center for Game 5 of the Colonial Cup Championship. It's a chance for the Mallards to capture the Colonial Cup for the third time in franchise history. We're on at 6:30 Central for Game 5 here from Asheville, North Carolina. For Ryan Lindsay, this is Ed Beach reminding you again our final score in Game 4 is the Quad City Mallards 5, the Asheville Smoke 2. Good night, everybody.